we're live on the internet. Welcome. I think all my audio stuff is working. I think I'm synced up. I'm fighting OBS this week, but someday I will win. Hello. Good evening. How are you, my friends?
Great.
We made it.
Good morning.
We're good.
We're having a protracted discussion about Hot Topic and Spencer's gifts. We were like, we got to turn this on. This is like real quality conversation. But we're discovering there's no Spencer's in Canada.
No, there is, Spencer. There is, but in
Are
my
there?
head,
Oh.
Spencer's Gifts was a much fancier store than what I have. And I've seen these stores. There's definitely one in a mall near where I grew up, where like I can envision the store, and it's like spray painted logo on like what looks to be a brick. Like we definitely have Spencer's, but I know that was Spencer's Gifts, because to me Spencer's Gifts is like Hallmark or HomeSense, Melissa, is what we were saying before.
Yeah.
But no, this is like pop culture, brandy stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I think we were talking about where do you go to get your kind of ripped jeans, band t-shirts, posters, and various different kind of edgy material.
Well, I mean, you should go to like a Value Village or a Salvation Army, right? Like that's the authentic stuff. But sure, if you want to spend way too much for it, you go to Hot Topic.
I'm sure they're things, whatever they might be.
Those stores,
like thrift stores.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm all about the thrift store. I love like good thrift store bargain shopping, Melissa. But yeah, like for me, Spencer's in high school was just like the coolest place you could go in the world. There was like so much great stuff, right? Plenty of like fart spray and like fake dog poo and stuff, but definitely a lot of like very
I have no concept of what the store is.
yeah, for sure.
Here, I'm gonna send you the picture that's on the like. To me, when I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, I've seen one of these in a mall. Yeah, a Spencer's.
A lot of like risque stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Boston.
I don't think we got either of those. Like, I don't think we got a Spencer's. I don't think we got a Hot Topic. Like, I don't know. We just have like a different collection of things down here.
Have you seen one of those,
Hey!
I
Melissa?
can't think of it.
Yeah.
I don't think
Maybe
so.
they're Ontario.
Well, that's real kind
maybe.
of skater punkus. Like
You know your retail store is cool AF when it involves the metal guard that like closes the shop up at night as part of the display in the retail store, right? Like now, like you're edgy, right? That's youthful, cool.
really leaning into graffiti, I think.
Oh
yeah, graffiti.
I mean, yeah, like in the 90s, it was like a whole thing of like graffiti becoming like recognized as some type of like legitimate art, right? There was actual like good graffiti, whatever. I don't know. I remember like growing up with graffiti. It's like such a dirty word, you know? And like, get out of here. Half my favorite art is graffiti, right?
Half?
At least half. The other half is Banksy. Does that count? That's like high-end graffiti.
Yeah, that's high-end graffiti.
Kind of graffiti in
Quality,
its own weird way.
prestige graffiti, as we like to refer to it here in New York.
Gotcha.
We are back. We're not all here. Aston cannot make it tonight. We miss her and wish her well and hope that she's like feeling better soon. But yeah, we decided to press on and persevere as a group of 5. I'm so glad to see all you guys. I've seen you all in the past few months, but it's been too long since we have Humblewooded.
Agreed.
It's very true.
That's very true.
Humblewood.
And I'm sure we know
Humblewood.
exactly where we left off and exactly everything we did before. Like I am 100% ready to continue with 100% knowledge of where we left.
Raccoon.
I think I'm a mole. Is that what I am?
Yeah,
I'm
you're
a mole.
You're mole man.
Yeah, you are. You're mole.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Hans, mole man. So you're going to do the recap then, Aiden. I mean, if you remember it all with that much clarity.
Exactly. If you are comfortable enough of giving this fool the reins of the recap, I'll go to town on it. We'll see where we end up.
Yeah, I mean, things happen. It's kind of wild to me that this is only episode 5, as we started this game like back in October, and it feels like we've.
It'll be fall. We'll be at the Harvest Fall Festival.
All the way back
forever.
I feel we were here like 3 days ago.
It'll be fall by the time we finish too. I like sold all you on like just a short arc, 3 or 4 sessions. Like we'll wrap it up by the end of the year, no problem. Oh god.
I'm enjoying being. I feel like Dragonfly has not exactly been this, but you did it with Titans. There's a lot of the like we never we long rested once, right?
Mhm.
And I think since that's great. I love that. The real like slow crawl from session to session. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's only good if you don't burn all your spell slots.
I don't have any spells.
Yeah, Grace and I
Smart.
are great.
It's really
Give me a short rest,
Yeah.
and
I have no things that like need to regenerate on other than my HP. Like it's not like rogues have like you only have so much cunning action. You know, it's fine.
no, rogue life is
Yeah.
great.
All the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, like hit points, but
But also, in retrospect, like, stop casting, cure wounds on the NPC. Like, you can only
Roland's
complain so
corns
much.
was redeemable. I think that first level spell slot really put him over the edge. I think he's gonna live a good life because of that.
not for nothing.
We're gonna get back to town. He'll be dead.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He's
Yeah.
Killed by Madame
it's gonna
Luna.
be
Yeah.
Killed by
Civilian
Barnaby.
justice.
Barnaby is gonna take a dark
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah.
it's gonna be like the end of the Lord of the Rings. You guys are gonna come back to Marshview, right? And Barnaby is like ruling over Marshview as
Yeah.
a
Barnaby is
desperate-
the necromancer.
Yeah, exactly. Rollins.
There are
is
some
like his
mountains up,
wingman.
and this certainly fits. Yeah.
Yeah.
You all potentially be pleased to know that, like, I have since started playing as a character in a Humblewood game, and I am playing a druid,
Oh.
and we have officially done 4 sessions and have not leveled up yet, so I'm still first level. Like,
Hold on, isn't this
Really?
our 5th
Yeah.
session? So you're on key
Yeah.
with us. You caught up to the rest of us.
yes. Um,
Are you a birdfolk?
No, I am a Mapach, but I am not a raccoon. I'm a red panda.
That's great.
How do we feel about
Amazing.
that? It's a party with many
great.
Vulpins. There are 3 foxes, and so I was immediately like, I will be a red panda who thinks that he's a fox, and all of them are gonna be like, "What, dude? You're not." Like, it's very,
Shh, nobody tell him.
it's
Nobody
very
tell him.
fun. But I have like suffered the pain of like, whoops, I cast my spell slot. Like,
My spells.
My single spell.
that's exactly it. I
Yeah.
have 2. Yep.
Yeah.
I took a long rest, and like immediately in the first encounter and afterwards, I just started casting all my spells. I was like, this is fine. I've got a shield, right?
Perfect. That's
Yeah.
how you do it.
I can fight things.
I mean, at the end of the session, they just regenerate, right? That's how it works. No, but
Yeah, you go
Spot
back
the
to
man
the
who's
hold
been
and
playing
you take a
Westmarch
nap,
for
and
the
then
last
you
year.
get
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's my favorite, is like taking all these players from these West Marches games that I'm running all over the place and like putting them in the long form campaign like Titans Airs, where it's like we're on episode 7 and they're like, can we get a long rest? I'm just like, no, I don't know. You gotta like find somewhere you could try, It's very, very fun. Quite a different dynamic. Cool. So we're gonna play D&D. This is exciting. I
Fun.
am looking forward to it. Is there any like stuff that we should go over? Mechanical stuff. You guys bought some magic items last time. We got those all like dispersed and accounted for, right?
we had our shopping episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Shopping.
Yep.
Did we?
Got some
Everybody
snazzy
has the thing
boots.
that they get.
Yeah.
They got, right? Yeah.
A couple potions, ring of necrotic resistance, boots of speed, as I recall, right?
Yeah.
That's the big one. That's the big one.
Who's carrying the potions?
I have one, and I believe you have the other.
Not in my inventory. I'll add it. What it?
Because
Is it just a healing
Because
potion?
you're the only one that doesn't have healing. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if it's noted, but Quilliam will be sipping from a very special potion from the next little.
I actually really want a Guinness now.
Amazing.
But actually, specifically, only one.
It's a potion of fortitude.
Not one from North America. Just one from.
That was not a nothing. That was. I tried to angle that.
It was impressive. It was an impressive angle. I don't know how you guys do it. It's like heavy people. You're like champions. So.
Oh, you have to skip dinner.
Yeah, I guess that'll help.
One time, the first time I ever went to Dublin, I only had Guinness all day, and it was a lot. It was a lot the next day.
Yeah.
And a lot of
I didn't
Guinness.
know you were in Dublin.
I've been to Dublin twice,
wish
and I
I'd
would
known you
very
then.
much like to come back. It's my favorite.
Come back. I'll
city.
show you all the good places that we don't.
Okay.
I'll show you the places that we don't tell
Right.
people about.
That's the best.
Better not. That's a good thing you don't
You-
say that on Twitch or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to advertise
On the
that.
internet.
That's good. Keep that underground where nobody's watching.
Let's go to the places in Saltersport that nobody tells us about.
Let's. What a great segue.
Yeah.
You're like a professional, Grace. To that point. Yeah. Without further ado, I think where last we left our heroes, the Marshview 5, as you have appointed yourselves. You left the very village of Marshview, pursuing bandits, turned bird folk who had showed up, stealing the staff of the Nightfather, the staff of Titan, from in your home. Pursuing them on the road, you encountered a lost guard who had been overwhelmed. You were assaulted by the notable Rollins Korn, of whom first level spell slots really turned around his entire character arc. What a journey. Pressing further, a lot of you ended up coming across an old wanderer, a man named Noel, a Vulpin, a foxfolk, as it were, who fought at your side as you were ambushed by mountain lions, ultimately leading you towards the Deep Well, a sanctuary of sorts in the forest between Marshview and Saltersport, a place of remembrance where one of the brave companions, the heroes of old, Brigitte, was laid to rest. Upon arriving there, you were assaulted by the living dead, the bones of long dead bird folk having risen up to assault you. The lot of you fought desperately against these undead creatures, defeating them and taking a rest in the forest that eve, right on the banks of this deep well, as it were. Over the course of the night, young Holly was visited by a spirit, a specter, perhaps of the very Brigitte herself, who encouraged the small Jerbeen girl to swim to the bottom of the deep well, where she found, buried beneath the muck and mud at the bottom of this ancient pool, a breastplate long lost, the very breastplate worn by this hero of old, an item of legend, as it were. Waking up in the morning, the lot of you had many sort of stories to exchange, discussions to have as far as what involvement you would have in what was transpiring. It seems that a necromancer has risen in the Humblewood, like the one of old, and that it has raised the dead from their graves. So, the company of Old Noel, the lot of you decided to proceed to Saltersport, where you stopped in at a shop, the Marguerite Rose, it's called, run by the old captain. The Marguerite Rose itself, a ship that once sailed the high seas south of the wood. It is now beached and converted into a storefront, where you met the captain's crew, the staff who worked this fine store with its many strange goods, a veritable cast of characters. You spoke with the captain for a bit, who informed you that they had in their possession for a time a horn of note, one of the other items of the brave companions from the days of yore, but that one of their staff members had been overtaken by the bandits of Saltersport, a crew of thieves and brigands, of toughs and ruffians, who called themselves the Storm Shadows. What a ridiculous name. Who made that up? Odella, having spent some years living in Saltersport, was familiar with this ridiculously named organization, having had some run-ins with them in her past that might have precipitated her decision to leave this very city which you have arrived in. Discussing more with the captain, you garnered some details as to the whereabouts of where this horn might be. He explained that these brigands and thieves often inhabit a cave down by the shore, an old kind of grotto along the beach side. You exchanged some coins for some goods, purchasing enchanted boots and ring, a few potions, and Noel expressed that he felt he was going to have to separate from the lot of you, pressing on ahead to inform those that need be informed as to the events transpiring in the wood around you. And so with your newly procured goods divided amongst you, stashed in your bags, the evening having fallen on the seaside as you leave this ship beached down by the water, a thriving kind of home to the crew that the captain has assembled around them. The 6 of you, you 5, along with Almond and Old Noel, you make your way towards the city of Salter's Port itself, a very unique place in the Humblewood. It is built not in the boughs of trees, but rather a series of dwellings on the precipice of this tall column of rock, a kind of tower of stone jutting up along the cliffs of the seaside here on the southern shores of the wood. It is a place often derided by others in the Humblewood for the strangeness of it, that bird folk and humble folk alike would decide to live in a place without trees, so high on the rocky banks of this kind of column of stone, as it were. And so with a lot of you walking probably about like half a mile from the city proper, you see the multitude of lights glowing, their various shades of yellows and orange and red, a kind of warmth radiating off the many shops and homesteads that abound along this tower of stone sitting here on the beach. The sound of the waves are a kind of persistent pulse underneath the undercurrent of the wind, rustling the dead leaves of the autumn forest to your north. The road winds and a cliff kind of emerges. You're rising higher away from the ocean, off on your right, some 50, perhaps 100 feet down beneath the cliffs as you go. And so, yeah, I think that the camera drops down in on this motley assemblage of the Marshview 5 with their collected old NPC. And yeah, is there a conversation as the camera kind of drops in on the lot of you?
Yes, Obi, I know it hurts now, but you have to break the boots in. They loosen up as you walk in them. That's what I'm saying. They're stiff now, and you might have to deal with a callus or two, but I assure you it'll be worth it.
Thank you, Quilliam. I do know. I do know how boots work. I am a dancer by trade. My feet are my weapon. My trade. I know.
Your feet are your weapon.
Your weapon is
your weapon. I've seen you stab people.
There are many different types of weapons, and not all weapons are used for battle, but some are used to strike at the heart and make you feel things. So
did you kick somebody in the heart?
No, that's not quite what I was meaning. But
I've kicked someone in the heart. It's very satisfying. If you don't like them, it's great.
You must have some serious strength.
Leg strength, yeah.
Yes. Mapach are built well for the climbing, for the jumping, for the leaping. It's we've got sturdy legs. We can.
It's gonna hinder your climbing a bit to wear boot. Look, you don't need boots. I think it pans down to those feet, and they're just.
Well, I think once I break them in, I think they'll be quite good. I think I've feeling some need for some more support around the ankles these days. So happy to wear these and feel a little bit more nimble, a little bit more like myself.
How did you get so old? I was not gone for that long.
Well, time passes still. I'm not that old, am I? Do I sound old?
Old knees, old legs.
I mean, relatively, not as old as Quilliam though.
But well, relatively, I think I'm bringing the medium up fairly high.
Well, I mean,
just your knee. Is it feeling better?
Well, it's the ankle more so, but
ankle.
Yeah, it's improving. All this walking on it the last couple of days has been a lot, but
if the new boots are a bit stiff, I'm sure I could stretch them out for you if you want.
We'll see how we
Holly
go.
could too.
I must say I
haven't
had them for long, but I'm already very
stretch out Obi's boots.
I mean, I don't know what I would. I'm smaller than all. That'd be like.
No, yeah, that's the joke. Yeah,
that's the joke. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very funny.
Unless someone in your family, you must have a brother who is, bootmaker or something, right?
No, it's a lot of carpenters in my family. Just like we all.
Like how many siblings do you have?
It's like 82, I think, at this point.
I thought it was.
I think if we were to give those boots to Holly, she would just hit somebody in the head with them. And make a very effective
No,
weapon.
I'd use the boots to run real fast and then like chase somebody and then hit them. But I wouldn't hit them with the boots.
Those boots
That's
make
silly.
people run fast.
Wait, will the same boots work on Holly? Wait, I have a question.
Oh,
wanna see
let's just
Holly.
redo
She's
all the...
Really fast.
Let's reevaluate.
I think that Noel is just like talking to almonds kind of at the back of this kind of meandering group as a lot of you are like chattering back and forth like, I thought she only had 73 siblings. All right, I'll try to make note of that. And as you guys are kind of like coming along like this winding path, what you see is like you're heading up this hillside, the cliff falling away, the ocean down beneath. The wood kind of vanished as the darkness is set in, stars twinkling in the night sky, some like puffs of clouds kind of creating big swaths of darkness above you. A chill breeze cutting through the air in this late autumn night. And I think you see a long rope bridge that extends off of the side of the road, mounted to these big, huge wooden posts set into the ground, and extending probably well over 100 feet out to this column of stone upon which Salter's Port is built. It stands kind of separate from the cliff itself, jutting almost up right out of the ocean, right? And I think that there are like all manner of lanterns hanging off of like this rope bridge, these kind of poles raised up on the side, and they're like bobbing and creating this kind of almost slow, scintillating display. The slight movement of all these lanterns in sync in unison with each other, like some vast kind of fiery serpent almost stretching across the chasm. And I think you could see the shadows of like a pair of figures like bird folk standing at the end of the bridge, up at the top of the road, some maybe 100 feet away from you guys as you're making your way. And Noel kind of like asks you all, he's like, well, I'm not sure if a lot of you know this place real well. I mean, I know Odell is from around here, but I'm torn. I'm not sure if I should head into town with you or if I should push north like from here.
But
Well,
you can stay for the night and then head out in the morning. It's getting kind of dark.
Absolutely. I mean, we should indulge in the city life. It's not often we get to do this.
Fair enough.
We old
At
folk
least
don't
it
have
is.
many moons left, you know.
And he like chuckles. And there's truth in that. I do some of my best walking at night, but I'd be lying if I didn't admit my back's a bit sore past few days. All right, I'll head in with you then.
I would say a nice hard bed and a snifter of something sweet would do you the world of good.
Miss the captain said that we all got our own room, and so that'll be really exciting as well.
That must be a bit of a novelty for you, Holly.
I've never had my own room before. I barely even have had my own bed before. And that was only that one time that Plover got really sick, and so then she had to stay outside.
Wow, she must have been very sick.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be able to sleep well with the quiet of a room all to yourself?
It's going to be quiet? Why would it be quiet?
Because it's point
Is
taken.
nobody else there?
I don't think any room with Holly in it is ever going to be quiet.
Or maybe perhaps the room next to Holly.
True.
So, yeah.
I do have these lovely little bits of beeswax. You can put them in your ears and it does all noise.
Can we go to
Clever.
somewhere for more, or I mean for some like food or something? Maybe some other, for food?
Yeah.
I could certainly eat. Weren't there recommendations? Didn't we get recommendations about something tasty to check out in town?
Yes.
I think it was the salted caramel. At
Yeah,
Michelle's
what's
Shell
place.
salted caramel.
What, the
exactly
salted
what I'm
pork
thinking
and
of.
salted pork? Oh, the salter's pork.
Salter's Port, salted pork.
There you go. There you go.
Say that 10 times fast.
Michelle's salted caramel, known round the Humblewood, very notable kind of delicacy of Salter's Port. And so, like, yeah, I guess Noel, like, kind of walking with you, the group of you are heading up. And you see these two bird folk. One of them is Strigg, like an owl folk, a little bit shorter than the other. The other one, like a Loomis, almost this white feathers, much like a white kind of dove. Both of them have like these hauberks on, this kind of like chain shirt, helmets with a bit of like a plume off the top, right? And kind of as you approach, they're chattering with each other, and one of them like turns and sees you, and it's just like, "Ah, well met. Welcome to Salter's Port. How are you?"
Thank you. Well, we're just looking for somewhere to stay the night, somewhere to find some food. Just passing
Maybe
through.
a bit of dancing.
I would love some dancing.
Aye.
Good places for dancing.
Indeed, there is. Just if you head right into town, one of the first places you'll see is Maina's there. It's on one of the lowest levels. They have a little bit of a stage out back, but I believe that there's performers there tonight.
Oh, right. Do you know who's performing?
Aye. I think it was the pair of Gustav and Mars. A Jerbeen and a Hedge like yourself. Surely you've heard of Gustav and Mars.
Have I heard of Gustav?
Make a history check with advantage, I think, Obi.
Alrighty. Let's see.
He does, yeah. He's got
Obi
his
knows
finger
the
on
scene.
the pulse. Got his paws on the pulse.
There's the Mapach
Yeah,
who
let's
has
see how we
literally
go.
lived in this city.
What did that roll?
Yeah, but I was not going to watch.
Oh, there we go. Oh, that first roll not so good. 9.
Okay, I think that you've not, Obi. You're like struck as you've not heard of these performers before, and you know
Oh.
many of like the traveling performing troops of the Humblewood.
They up and comers then, or they've just been around a while. Or...
I'm not sure how long they've been performing, to be honest with you, but well, they made it sound like they were really well-known names.
Well, don't know about that, but sometimes it's good to sort of lead with a degree of putting yourself forward, making yourselves bigger than you actually are. But excited to see them nonetheless. Oh no, of course not, Holly. That sounds absolutely preposterous.
You're big of heart.
Excited.
Uh,
Tomatoes?
tomatoes?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What?
I heard you say
I heard
tomatoes.
Tomatoes?
I thought I heard tomatoes.
I'd love some tomatoes.
It's like tomatoes. We want tomatoes?
You say preposterous, didn't you? Wait, what?
Tomatoes!
What
Tomatoes! The place, the
Tomatoes?
tavern!
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Yes.
I was
Tomatoes.
promised tomatoes.
They might have tomatoes, I don't know.
Indeed they do.
I'd love a shakshuka.
It's branding.
And I think that the like bird folk are kind of looking back and forth at each other, and like the Strigg just kind of like shrugs, like you can't miss it when you head in. You'll find it just along the way, of course. No trouble now while you're in the port, of course. Perch guard, we're everywhere, eyes on everything. We don't need any trouble.
Oh no, we're no trouble. We're all good. From our head to my toes.
So I think that
What I know is this is Maynard's. Is it just entertainment, or is it and food and drink?
yeah, so she's got like a tavern, and then there's like a separate building with rooms. She actually like has been around for a long time. I think you would know Maina specifically. She's like a very old kind of woman, a bird folk, one of the whatchamacallit, not a gallus. Oh my gosh, I'm like losing
Strig?
Oh,
the.
let's all name birds at
Name
Rich.
birds real
Yeah.
quickly.
Orange,
She is a
Uh,
gallus.
Luma,
I'm like
jackal.
mixing up the gallus
Jackal.
and the luma.
It's a jackal.
Yeah, she's kind of
gallus.
like she's got like the
Okay.
chicken vibe, right? She's got herself a little comb. She's a very old cook. She opened the place up as kind of like a small cook room years ago, and it built up. It turned into like a tavern kind of restaurant. She had a little bit of a stage built out back behind it, and over the years she ended up buying like the boarding house across the street and just kind of absorbed it into the whole thing. So you can get rooms through Maina's if you'd like, but it's like a tavern, restaurant, performing hall. Yeah.
I think that Odell at some point would tell you like she knows a lot of the places in town, but has basically never been inside many of them. But can tell you who has good food based on the dumpsters out back. So Maynard's not bad. It's not bad.
Top
This seemed
tier,
like it was
middle
good ones.
tier.
Yeah. If this was just good, this would have been great.
Bit less dirt
Just
on it.
pick the maggots out of this.
I mean,
That'd be
fried tomatoes is always better when they're fresh. You don't they get soggy if you leave them out. So I'm sure it'd be much better. Getting them straight off the hot plate.
Fall is a great tomato season too, and so the lot of you begin to proceed across like this winding bridge. It's a very interesting sensation as it bobs underneath your feet. You feel it kind of moving with the breeze. These dangling lanterns like casting these long kind of flickering dancing shadows around the group of you as you make your way. You hear the chatter.
Hey, Holly, hold on.
Noel's just like desperately holding the ropes while like almonds kind of like got his shoulders.
I'm sorry, Noel. I'm sorry. I was just having some fun.
I think Obi's doing the thing like you do on a bus where you don't hold on to the poles and anything. You just sort of like surf the bus as it's coming into land. Just sort of enjoying, sort of feeling the sway and the movement.
I love it. As like Obi weaves the lot of you like walking, continuing forward. And so the city of Saltersport kind of like swallows you up as you approach. Like the closer you get, this fascinating sensation where you kind of lose perspective on the houses and the buildings from up above as the ladder or the bridge itself makes its way up onto like the landing, right? Moss, algae, all manner of kind of greenery and life and plants around you, such that might have been hard to discern in the darkness of the eve from the far side of this bridge. You realize this place is like teeming with life, almost in a way that like none of the tree cities in the Humblewood can, in the little nooks and pockets of this kind of ocean earth that have accumulated in this sort of porous structure rising out of the sea, right? And
so kind of like rock
I love
light
it here.
all up the side, sort of filled with. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, like flowers kind of like cascading out of like these little tufts, right? Vines, all these bits of like algae and kind of like strange moss coating a lot of like the edges of the buildings, many of which are made from stone. Quite a change from the marsh view that you know well, where Holly's entire family basically built the village. So as you guys like come off the bridge, you see like a bit of a plaza out in front of you. There's this kind of almost winding pathway that leads up in a kind of spiral staircase style around the exterior of this great edifice that is Saltersport. You could see a couple of like walkways leading in like various directions, like catwalks and a few other bridges that are like kind of covering gaps, and people bustle all about despite the hour being like kind of early into the night, the having passed. You hear sounds of like revelry and kind of conversation, music in the distance, the like chatter of just people with each other as their days wind out, shopkeepers kind of closing up their storefronts, wagons trundling through the streets as like peddlers bring their carts back to their homes. What do you guys want to do?
Okay, everybody stay together. It's very easy to get lost in this hustle and bustle. So I think everybody should have a buddy. Okay, so Odella, if you could be Obi's buddy, and Holly, you can be my buddy. And if you lose your buddy, make sure that everybody just... Everybody be aware of your buddy, and that way nobody could get lost.
This is a moment where I have
Perfect
to
advice.
realize everybody on the stream has not heard Down the Hatch, but I just want to sing you all everybody's, anyway.
Everybody. Yeah. Rock your buddy.
Buddies?
No,
No,
it got
thank you.
weird real
No.
fast.
Nope. No. Odella's hood up on the cloak to not be spotted, but also would tell everyone that she has a map. So nobody needs to get lost. We have a map.
That's very thoughtful
Great.
of you.
Good thing you're my buddy. I don't like getting lost.
Yeah.
Are you feeling okay about being back here in the thick of it?
It's fine as long as nobody looks at me.
Are
it'll
you
be
like
fine.
actively trying to like conceal your face?
that
Is this
include me?
worthy of like a disguise kit or maybe a
Yes,
stealth
sure.
check just to like see if you're hiding yourself? Which do you think is appropriate? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, stealth. I'm not
Okay,
using the
okay,
full
okay.
disguise kit. Yeah.
Excellent. So you're still obviously like with the group, right? But you've just got the hood up, and yeah.
Yeah, and like maybe in the middle of the group as much as possible. And this would be a thing where like I think that the stealth check like use your discretion, but it's not like I can't be seen. Like I'm not totally
You're trying
hidden.
to
I'm just like
conceal your face
wanting
specifically, right? And make sure like nobody gets a good look at your
Yeah.
face. Anybody who might recognize you
That's right.
won't. That type of play. Excellent.
right.
So
Yeah. Can
Pay attention to yourself.
as we sort of move into town, I think Obi sort of moving alongside Ode, he'd be keeping an eye out as best he can, just to see if like anyone like pays attention to them. Like he's not the most observant person, but I think he's like cautious in this space. And I think he's just kind of keeping an eye on the crowd, seeing if their troop arriving in town is drawing any attention, and especially if anyone's looking in Ode's direction, even as she's
Why
blending
would
into
they?
the crowd.
We're perfectly normal.
Yeah, we blend in
In a
this
good
kind
way.
of community.
I dig it. Why don't we have you make an insight check? As there are like many people that are kind of glancing at you, right? You're clearly travelers. You're arriving in town late. All these townsfolk are kind of scoping you out. So this is sort of like more the read of the people that you see watching you, right? With a 16. Let me just ask, are you guys heading directly to Manus? Okay.
I think unless anyone
think
has
so.
any other
Okay,
ideas.
so with like, Odella kind of guiding you from the middle, like, this way, like, let's, yeah.
Left, like pull tugging at shirts, like left, left, right.
I will
right.
say at
Map out
some
in
point
front.
I want to find kind of small little kind of porcelain figurines of farm boys and farmers. I think some people call them hummels. I'm a firm collector of them. Maybe at some point if I could find them, that would be nice.
Of course.
Very
Collecting little.
cheap.
That's amazing.
So I
Okay,
think that
that's great.
as like you're kind of moving,
Humblewood hummels.
as you're kind of like moving
Humble
through the
hummels.
street, Odella guiding you, Obi, you're like scanning the crowd, like scoping people out, keeping an eye on them. And I think as you like come around kind of like a corner, you come up to a sort of like T intersection, and Odella like takes you to the left, and you could see this couple of like just freestanding buildings, one of which is just a like long sort of one-story place, and there's all this light kind of glowing up from behind it of lanterns and candles and such. You hear the sound of music kind of like trickling from this place. The building across the street, a taller 3-story kind of square building with a series of windows on it. But I think as you come around this corner, you do spot what looks to be like about a like half dozen younger kind of teenagers, Mapach, Vulpin, and Jerbeen amongst them, right? An assorted kind of group, and they appear to be kind of around a circle. They're like throwing dice, like sitting near this kind of like boulder jutting up out of the side of the pathway, and they see you coming, and I think that you spot one of Jerbeen amongst them, like kind of scanning over you, eyes lingering especially on you, and they seem to be like scoping Odella in that like they can see that they can't see her face, but they're trying to. Yeah. And you guys are kind of like walking up, approaching this group of like a half dozen sort of kids like gambling on the side of the road, playing with dice or whatever. And this Jerbeen is definitely like looking towards Odella with like you see them kind of moving their heads, trying to get the angle, look up underneath the kind of hood.
I think
Do I notice his hiding his
Yeah,
face?
you're hiding your face. I think this was like, Obi specifically with an eye out for you guys.
He's
I
rolling
think
dice.
as
He's
Obi
rolling
notices,
dice.
Yeah, I think as Obi notices this Jerbeen, he sort of shifts to do his best to just like lock direct eye contact with the Jerbeen and just kind of like stare at him or stare at them as we walk past, as just a little bit of a like, I see you scoping. Get back to your game, kind of just sort of very passive but very intentional and quiet in acknowledging it and just being like, get back to your business.
So I think like you turn, you notice, you notice the Jerbeen noticing or trying to like notice you guys. You start like staring at them and they're looking from Odella, and I think you see there's a moment of clear recognition. It appears like they're like, and then they turn looking at you, and you're like locking eyes with them. Can I maybe have you make an intimidation check? And
Sure.
What were you going to say, Aiden?
I was just saying I have a passive perception of 17, and I'm looking after my children.
Excellent.
So
Okay.
my kiddos, I just wanted it to be known that if I see somebody eyeing
Very intimidating.
Oh wow.
God.
I'm not too bad at intimidation, but not not today.
Yeah.
Grrr.
I think that the Jerbeen goes a bit wide-eyed and like locks eyes with you as you pass, Obi, and it's like just staring a little bit like nervously. You can read this like anxiety on their face, whiskers kind of like twitching, right? The nose like perpetually moving, and yeah, you guys move past this group with no words exchanged, and I think Noel is just like, well, this is the place right here. And as you guys are coming up, you see a Vulpin leaning up against the wall underneath the like flapping of this sign hanging from a small chain off the door, and it just says Maina's, and there is like a picture of like a mug and another picture with like a frying pan kind of like carved and painted onto the sign itself. This Vulpin with like a pipe clenched in their teeth, like kind of pulling the cherry like flares, light illuminating their face and their muzzle. And I think that Quilliam, with the passive perception, I think that like you note out of the corner of your eye as you kind of glance back down the road, this Jerbeen is like scurrying off away from the group of kids like playing on the side of the road.
Oh, it's a bustling city indeed. Mischievous tykes everywhere you look.
And the Vulpin, as you guys come like walking up to the door, I think that he just kind of like, evening.
No, we're here for some food, for some rest, for some dancing, performance, all the good things. Just passing through and wanted to see, what to enjoy here.
And I think he's like, well, get good food and drink here. Not so sure what to tell you about dancing, but that's your thing.
Aren't there performers out the back? We were told there was a stage here, and Gustav and Mars, was it?
Yeah.
Yes, there was a Jerbeen and a Quill duo I was dying to
And
see.
I think that he just like rolls his eyes like, yeah, those two. They think they're a lot more
not so
impressive
good?
than I do. That's all I can tell you.
I see.
Why? What do you like? What's your kind of performance?
I think he's like, my kind of performance, well, ain't the kind of thing that leaves folks cheering and dancing. That's all.
Is it fighting?
It's not
And I
much
think
of a
he like
performance.
looks at you like, he's like, you follow me. Because
Yeah.
my favorite kind of music is sound of fists meeting beaks.
I like the sound of people crying after I've hit them really hard.
Have we met?
No, just, kindred spirits, I guess.
He extends his hand down to you, I think, Holly, and he's just like, I think he says, folks call me Marcel. Pleasure to meet you, young one.
Hi, Marcel. I'm Holly.
Holly, get away from the man now. Thank you, Holly. Marcel, it's been lovely to you. Okay, come along, Holly. We're going
And
inside
I think
now.
with that,
Would I know of any like underground fight clubs? And
Yeah, for sure.
Selfish
Yeah,
World?
you definitely know that there's like some fights that happen at night. Yeah.
And you've got so much
like,
karma
give
coming
that
back
look
at
to
you.
Yeah, I'm like giving a nudge to Holly, like it's a giveaway.
And I think that as Quilliam like steps past opening the door, Marcel just kind of like winks at you, Holly, like pulling from the pipe again as you head in. Like you guys just hear the voice of Noel like following you all up as you head in. Like, is there really a need for that? She's a young, impressionable woman. We don't need any kind of trouble. You ought to settle down, sir. But then,
I will mess you up, Marcel.
He says it to
I
Marcel.
will mess you up. Stay away from my Holly.
And so you all stride in through the door. Here, I got a map.
Ooh!
Hey!
Whoa!
Hey, we did things
Yeah,
the DM planned.
amazing.
That's exciting.
Oh, that location you peppered.
Oh,
into
these
our
tokens are
conversation?
great.
That was prepared. Wow.
Amazing. The tokens are adorable,
These
right? They're
tokens.
very,
So
very,
cute.
very
These are-
cute.
They're so cute.
Hold
Oh
on one
my
second. Let me switch
God.
the map over.
There's a thing. An owl with an eye patch.
I love it.
Sure is.
That's great.
What was the weasel from campaign 2 called? What was
Sprinkles.
Jester's weasel? Yeah, Sprinkles there. Sprinkles there wearing kind of pink
So
sunglasses.
these tokens were made by somebody named Snowbound Becca. I just found them on like a loose Google search,
Wow.
but for the like sake of accrediting great stuff that's being made, I looked around. I don't think that they were like being sold anywhere, or I would have purchased them. But I thought they were delightful. I've got like a whole bunch of these like awesome little Humblewood tokens, and they are very adorable. If you want to like go hunt this person down on
They're
like
great.
ArtStation, DeviantArt, Pinterest, and like thank them for their awesome stuff.
They are outstanding. I particularly love the pigeon on the far left.
The little hat. Yeah.
Yeah, with the hat.
Mhm.
Also, DM, not that we're going to get into any combats or anything, but that is my old figure on 19 hit points out of 21. I am sitting on a massive 30.
Oh
I will
my
have you
word!
know.
Yeah, your hit points might not be.
We have the same amount of HP.
It's,
I just updated
Not that
my
we're
tokens.
Holly, not that
it's
we are
either
fighting.
really good or really bad when your druid and your fighter have the same HP. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's bad for me.
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Oh,
I am a
you rolled like an
tank.
8. Yeah, I'm a tank. Okay, so I just have to put it out there that like I literally have a class feature called Brutal Brawler that is all about like when you get into a bar fight, this is what happens.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, but the first establishment we come to, we maybe shouldn't get
I'm
into
not
a bar.
planning on it. I'm
I'm
just
very
saying.
aware.
If it just
Feels like you're planning.
You're planning.
What happens when one player
Yeah.
character is
I've
entirely
I've been to a bar with a Melissa character before.
Yeah, I did
Okay.
start bar fight
All right.
too.
All right.
William
Yeah.
is just going to go out of his way to prevent Holly from using her class features, basically. Don't you dare.
It,
Can we sit at a
Yeah,
table?
sure, you
can we go to the bar?
Amazing,
We
Mike.
can-
You can
go
what is
sit
it- What's the
wherever
deal
you
with
would
that?
like? As you guys all kind of come in, and Noel's like, there's seats out back, but if you prefer the cover of the roof, it seems like it's a pretty empty night, actually.
Oh, I think it's better to be out by the stars at this point.
Let's go to the roof.
No, I meant out back.
Oh, jeez, holy cow, those guys.
Oh, my
They got very big.
We'll head out back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we need to order food here and then bring it outside, or they'll serve
Yeah,
us? What
as
is
you
it- what's
come
the-
in, I
what
think
does it
that
look
you
like?
see this pair of bird folk. There's like this strig behind the bar with this kind of like white barn owl face, these big dark eyes, right? And then you notice this woman like bustling around by the edge, and I think she sees you come in and like turns looking back at you, and she's like, Oh, hello, welcome to Maina's. Maybe you want to take a seat, or you just give me a minute. I gotta go bring the food to these people. And I think that she like turns and kind of like striding over. She's like, oh, where's he gonna put so much on a tray? How much do you think I could carry? I'm an old woman. And she like lifts this big like tray up off the bar. She kind of like meanders over to the table in the corner, like, here you go, it's for you. Are you making a pierogi? Are you here? You get the bacon ziti. You order the meat? Are you one of the tea? Here you go. And so I think that she's like pulling out the things off the thing, and she comes over to you like, come on, you come in. You don't need to be the strangers. You don't just stand around the door. Maybe you close the door, you come in, you have a seat. What do you need?
Buonasera,
Rich,
mama.
for twice.
Exactly.
Oh man, I didn't think any
He's
of us
perfect.
needed to say anything ever again. Just Rich as that NPC for the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
So we're bringing Maina with us.
Could you tell us the entire history of your establishment in great detail,
Of
please?
course, but you need to spend some coin. I'm gonna maybe no sit here and tell you my whole story if you don't buy any food. Are you here for some dinner? Maybe you're here for this performer.
Oh, both actually.
Both.
Where do you want to
Yeah,
sit? Do you
drink.
want to sit outside? It's still a
No.
nice night. All right, we bring you outside.
Yeah, outside. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm very loud. Maybe I interrupt you?
No,
No,
not at all.
no.
Absolutely
Thank
not.
you for welcoming us to your establishment. It's
Never
wonderful.
apologize for being you.
All right, maybe you come with me. And so she like leads you out the back. She disappears. She teleports into the backyard. You know,
My vision of that is just she turns and like bolts.
We're gonna need to clip. Okay, come with me.
I think that I think
Anybody who didn't look at Roll20
I know. I think that Noel and Almonds are just like probably like Noel's like, gosh, I'm a lot more tired than I expected. And I think Almond's like, well, I mean, I could help you, Mr. Noel, if you you need accompaniment over to your room. And I think that the pair of them like talk with Maina for a minute. She's like, I got so many nice boarding rooms right across the way. How many rooms do you need? You want your single room? We have a single room. And I think there's like a little bit of an exchange, some coins exchange. And Noel and Almond are going to make their way just across the road. As Maina explains that like the boarding house is just on the other side of the path. They're able to like acquire rooms for the lot of you, and as such they just vanish whoosh, in the thin air. No, they like head out the front door past old Marcel there and go get their rooms as Maina like brings you out back. And meanwhile, oh geez, I have these guys not on the right layer. That's my mistake. Up on the stage you do see this pair of a Hedge and a small Jerbeen, and the Hedge I think has like a like kind of mandolin, you know, and he's like as the Jerbeen has like this little tiny flute, like, and the pair of them are just kind of like grooving out this pretty big spread of bird folk sitting out back here, like watching, drinking. The crowd like mostly like quiet, transfixed by kind of like what's happening up on the stage, you know. And so Maina leading you out like kind of gestures down to the tables, and she's just like, you look like you traveled maybe for a very long time. You have so much in the road of dirt on your body. So you tired? Are you hungry? What do you need?
All of the above. What do you recommend from the kitchen?
Oh, you pick such a good night to come here. We just having a delivery. We get the fresh bug cheese from the forest. I'm having a baked ziti. I'm having a baked lasagna. We have all kinds of the pasta dishes. There's an escargot that we get. We bring it in snails. I pay the children. They bring it to me 1 copper, 1 snail. I'm going to pay to you 2 copper. It's a great deal.
You say
That's all right.
cheese, just to clear. Yeah.
Bug
Okay.
cheese. Yeah. We'll take bug
Bug
cheese
cheese,
for sure.
please.
And I think
I didn't know you could milk
yeah.
a bug.
You could milk anything if you try hard enough.
2 copper for
No,
all, wait,
no,
for all
no,
of it,
I'm
or
a-
for 1 meal.
Maina needs to make it a profit. I'm gonna pay for you. I'm gonna just explain to you maybe my profit margin. I'm gonna maybe get into this a little bit too much. I pay a very good cost for the escargot. You pay maybe 2 copper per escargot in your pasta dish.
positive. If I just give you one, how much gold to just
I
have
feed you
enough food
so
for the
good. You give me
forest?
1 gold, I'm gonna feed it. Maybe all of you. You live here so fat, nobody even recognize you when you get there.
Great. Yeah,
All right,
drop 1
good.
gold piece on the table.
Oh, Della, where did you get such coin?
I just had
She
it.
takes the
Wow,
coin and
very
taps it on
impressive.
the table a little bit, and she's like, "I'm having my girl come out, and she's bringing you drinks. So what do you want? You want a wine, a mead, a tea?"
I look, as the adult here, I think I need to say, Obi Odella, I know that you have, you are world bound. You have done your traveling, but Holly, it is not wise that you would partake in alcohol. So my dear barmaid, please, my little Jerbeen friend here is not of age. So, no alcohol, please. Although I'll have a whiskey.
Holly, you can punch him if you want.
Just kick him in the heart.
Let me ask you, young woman, is this old man, maybe he's your grandfather, or he's running for your orphanage?
It's just Mr. Quilliam. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Holly will take a mead.
Okay, very good.
If you have a small beer,
As will I.
Okay.
Do you have
No!
diet mead?
Do I look like I have a diet mead?
Oh no.
All right, I'm gonna go get you food.
I just... Okay, just one.
Okay.
Just one.
I think she winks at you, Holly. You know, she's got the bird eye on the side of her head, right? She kind of turns, making her
saw
way
that.
back in, and she's you hear her voice kind of echoing from inside. We needed the bug ziti. We needed the bug lasagna. I'm gonna need a 3 meat. I'm gonna need. The door kind of closes behind her.
Oh, is the bug? Is that just escargot? Is bug?
No, she's got a whole. She's got a whole menu. She's got a bit.
cheese, or are you?
She's got baked
bugs?
ziti and lasagna made with bug cheese, and then she's got an array of pasta dishes with escargot. Well, they don't have cows,
Okay,
Quilliam.
all right,
Where are they supposed to make their cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't not have cheese. So where does it come from?
Yeah, world without
The
cheese.
magical
Cheese is a
world.
staple in every universe.
Yeah, this fantasy
Yeah.
world without cheese is no fantasy world I want to
Yeah.
be in.
Yeah.
I've had almond cheese, but that raises whole other issues.
I mean,
Yeah, we
this-
don't want that.
Yeah,
Oh.
this whole
We don't want
paddocks
almond
filled with with dairy wasps. It's great. It's just
milk mosquitoes.
Exactly. So the lot of you kind of you situate yourselves at this kind of picnic table out back. This pair up on the stage, kind of going back and forth with their dueling instruments. They're not really singing. They're really just kind of playing and dancing around each other a little bit. In this kind of involved thing. Many of the bird folk kind of caught up. The chatter from inside is this low, dull kind of murmur that's coming out from the building. Maina inside getting your food together. And so, yeah, you guys have a little bit of time just sitting here at this table.
Important question: are the performers good?
Oh,
Yeah,
great
it was a good
question.
Yeah, I was like, how are they?
Great question.
Make an insight check.
Let me get one.
Are you saying is Obi about to rush the stage?
Well, Obi can be a judgy little bastard at times.
Not that great. You get the impression, I think, as you're watching, I think that you see the Hedge, he's got his eyes closed and he's doing that thing that he's very much off on his own. He's kind of completely ignoring the fact that he's on the stage with another performer. And I think that you see the Jerbeen is ripping it away on this little flute, and he stops for a minute and tilts back this mug that's on a stool next to him. I think beer sloshes over his face, and it's clear that maybe he's imbibed a few too many this evening, and there's potential, but they're not. This is not a great performance. Nope.
I understand why I have not heard of them before.
It is sad. I mean, you need to give room to the other performers.
It's so
I mean, it's-
critical. I mean, if you are working with others, you need to blend. The music you create, the dances, the steps that you take. It has to weave and intersect with everyone else. If you're all doing your own things, it's a mess.
I know you're not an ensemble, you're just a group of individuals.
Exactly.
Odella, during the, would go, what exactly is escargot?
Don't worry about it.
And I think you would slowly see Shelby. Shelby. And just like on the shoulder. I was like, what is escargot?
I think I would Shelby might want to just hide in your hood for a little bit in case there are any little children looking for a copper piece.
I think it's a.
I think.
Because I think it's like right at this point that you see the other, like the strig with the barn owl face like coming out, and she's kind of like got this platter with a couple of bowls on it, and it's got this like pasta steaming off of it. You smell kind of like wine in the air, a couple of like wooden forks in these wooden bowls, and as you glance over, Adela, you very clearly could see the many shells of snails, you know what I mean, like marking the top of the pasta.
Not hungry.
This is raising some deeply philosophical issues for me.
So I think a few minutes pass as Maina makes her way back out carrying this over large tray. I think like the chicken's tail, the first thing you see coming out of the door as she like uses her butt to like push the door open, her tail kind of like the like waddling motion of like this tail wiggling back out while she comes over to the table, like setting the platter down, and she kind of like hands off your meals. She hands you your meats and your whiskey, as it were. And then she kind of like takes the platter, like tucking it up under one wing, and she's just kind of like looking down at a lot of you at the table, smiling like, well, go ahead, eat up.
Looks wonderful. Thank you so much,
And
Maina.
especially this one, as she's so small, you look too skinny. I think that like it's not like clear. She's like waving her hands at the table. You know what I mean?
You're all too skinny. Even Quilliam, Mrs. Potbelly.
And she's just like she's like watching.
I like to consider myself quite well fed.
She's very much doing the thing where she's standing here like watching you all, waiting for you to eat. You know.
Adela picks around the escargot and is like just eating like moving shells and stuff out of the way, and we'll take the tiniest bite.
Quilliam,
look up at her.
Quilliam picks up his whiskey glass and kind of puts his nose, the hedgehog nose, like halfway into the glasses. Oh my! I do believe this is the best thing in nature. And takes a little sip.
That's a very big thing for you to say. There's so many things in nature. I'm not so sure. Maybe you have such a problem with the whiskey. That's why you worry for the little girl here.
I do not have a problem, my dear. I am well in control of my own emotions. But when you get to my age, you learn to appreciate the little pleasures in life.
Oh, that...
That being said, I don't believe that the youth of today should delve headfirst into it. I think moderation in all things. Isn't that right, Holly?
Yeah, moderation. Moderation means some. And then not
I think
more.
maybe she's got you there.
Do you have any water? I want to dilute this mead.
No! I'll have water later.
Just a pinch. Quilliam pours from the glass of mead, just like about 4 times as much water into her glass.
And I think that like Maine is like looking over at you, Odella, and she's like, "What's the matter? You know, like escargot?"
More like escarno, am I right? And I give them all.
Heyo.
And, I think she just like shakes her head like, maybe you're right. Maybe these youth are here, they get out of control. All right, you let me know if you need anything else. I got so many customers inside. It's a busy night here at Maina.
Thank you very much. We will give you a shout if we need you for anything else, any top-ups, any more food. This will keep us well fed, I think, for the next
You
little
make
while.
sure you shout it real loud. I'm a
Could I
baby
have
no
one
here.
more whiskey, please?
Our voices can
just
carry.
One more whiskey, if that's okay.
I'm gonna send you the bottle. and she like heads like back inside. Right.
Wow.
Speaking of youths, Ode, on the way here, we passed that group of kids that were gambling in the street.
Oh, I didn't see him. I had my hood up.
The thing is, I think one of them saw you.
A kid?
I mean, I don't know if I'd say that they're small or medium, but youngish. Jerbeen.
Would this ring any bells to me?
I mean, a lot of Jerbeen are small.
Yeah.
Actually, all of them.
That's
We're all
I mean,
There's
that's
one
true.
right next to you.
They're all
That's
small.
true. I'm not saying it in that respect, but just they seemed like a youth. I mean, much like you. But they seem to spot you.
Yeah, I don't know that there's any like really there's enough specific stuff here to like ring like specific bells for you, Odella, you know what I mean? But oops.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, I don't know if it's dangerous, but I guess I just wanted to let you know that
They see where we were going?
I don't know. They saw us moving up the street, and we kept moving by. I tried to, stare them down and get them to mind their own business, but I don't.
Did you look like really
tried.
intimidated? Like
I tried
really
to get
angry
the,
and try
the
to scare him
whiskers
out?
to flare a little bit, and kind of a little bit of the snarl kind of sipping in. But I think I'm out of practice. I just want you to be
Okay.
careful. That's
Yeah.
all. That's all.
Can I make a perception check here to see if there's anybody who has there's any suspicious
Yeah, absolutely.
anybody looking?
With a 14, I think that as you're like scanning the crowd out here, it's very like consolidated to all these like bird folk out back that are watching the performance. But I think you're like thinking back to like as you walked through the like common room itself of Maine is here, there was a table that had a couple like Vulpine and Mapach sitting at it. Like might have recognized a couple of them. You weren't like looking because you were trying to hide your face, but now that like he's talking about that, you're like, oh geez.
Yes.
Like there's a very real possibility those might be people you know who know you.
Okay, so yeah, I would tell them. Maybe some people inside. I wasn't really thinking about it when we were coming through, but now, yeah, those people in there could know me. So,
What do you want to do? I mean, I'll follow your lead on this. You're the one who's been here and knows what's going on.
You want to fight him?
do I want to? Wait, when you say I know, do I know anything? Like, are they Storm Shadow people? What are I just
yeah, I'm giving.
Did I
you
just
the,
recognize
you're
them?
not in the room with them now to like eye them out. So if you want to go back in, you can
Yeah,
maybe
so,
get some more
yeah,
information
got
and
it.
confirm. But it was enough of like a gosh, they might be like Storm Shadows. They might be like people that we know. Yeah.
Can I sneak to the
Sure,
door and
absolutely.
poke my head in?
Yeah, let me have a stealth
Take a
check
look.
here as you peek your head in and scope these guys. Very nice.
15. Is it dim
No,
light?
It's pretty well lit inside the room itself. Though good call. Okay, so as you peer into the room itself, oops, 1 second here. Find that. Yeah, as you peer your head into the room and you scope out this crew that's sitting over here, I think you do recognize that the Mapach with his back to the wall, like kind of sitting there is somebody that you know. His name is Elko, and he definitely like runs with the Storm Shadows. And I think it's at this point that as you look, you see the Strig that's at the southern end of the table with the eye patch, and you're like, oh shit, that's Hubert. And Hubert is 100% like one of the Storm Shadow, like kind of like underbosses, you know. He's sort of like big fish, small pond, big owl, small nest, sort of a deal.
Then I'd lurk back to the table and tell them that. and like be very small. Mm-hmm. Well, we could just go get our room. We could go get our room. We could go to. What time is it?
It had like just gotten dark as you were like leaving the Marguerite Rose. Probably took the better part of like 40 minutes or so to like walk up into like this place, you know. So it's probably like, I don't know, somewhere in the region of like 8 o'clock at night, 7, 8, 8 probably. The like days go long in the fall. Yeah.
I mean, I haven't had a bedtime this early in like a year.
Oh, Della, we are enjoying ourselves. So why would we end this night early?
Oh yeah, because people who might want to kill me are just inside.
Sorry, what was that?
I did explain who they are. I would explain who that they are in there. Yeah.
Oh dear.
Do you?
Oh dear.
No, that's Almond.
Mm-hmm.
She's already gone to bed.
Is it something that these people that you're spotting in the tavern, are they people that you want to deal with or just avoid?
I mean, I feel like there's more of them than there are of us, even if there's not more of them just inside, you know? So, you know, I mean, we could probably deal with these ones, maybe. Well, how would I know, like, Hubert? Would I know how powerful Hubert is?
You know that, like, you know, he's been around for years. Like, he was here before you showed up. I think you've seen him fight, and, like, he's a good scrapper, right? Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, where we could, you know, but then they probably know we're here. You know, I'm here, you know?
But do they know you're here anyway?
I don't think so.
Well, let's just hang out here then.
Oh, except for the Jerbeen, maybe.
Perhaps. I just noticed that they spotted you. I didn't see them do anything else.
Yeah.
They saw you, didn't they, Obi?
Well, they saw me.
Certainly.
Yes, but...
Well, why don't you go up on stage and get their attention? We might be able to sneak Odella away out the back.
I certainly have ways of doing that.
I think we could sneak out now, right? Because they're inside?
Yeah. We could just head on off if we want to.
We could.
So if we want to fight, we could fight, but...
Oh no fighting!
Yeah, it feels bad to Maina to, like, I want to wreck her shop, you know?
She could fix it.
Her tavern.
But
We got all the way here. We're not gonna dance. We're not gonna go on stage. We're not gonna do anything. We're not gonna eat. We're not gonna drink. We're just gonna like
to do something like that.
Go and hide.
It does seem a shame to leave this
You don't
lovely
have
establishment.
You don't have to. I just have to hide.
Well, you don't have to hide if you do not want to.
What if we like give you a disguise so that they don't?
I do have a disguise.
Or if you want, I could just make it so that nobody could see you.
That's true. That's pretty powerful, though. I could just use a disguise.
As you guys are talking, you hear like the music kind of die out and this loose, kind of weak applause, you know. And I think you hear like some crumbling as like these two figures hop down off the stage. One of them calling to the rest, like, Thank you, my friends. Of course, this was only the preliminary performance for the evening. We will return, I assure you. As there's like the clapping continues, and then I think you hear some muttering as these two like come down off the stage, and they're kind of like walking over. They sit at the table on the other side of you. The Hedge kind of like muttering to the Jerbeen. You drunken fop, you need to take yourself out of your cups. You are entirely off tempo. You're throwing me off course. It's preposterous. And the like little Jerbeen just like, you insipid fool. Always you are playing off to your own device. You never pay any attention to anything I am doing. I may as well be up here by myself. I never should have joined myself to you, you incompetent bastard. And the pair of them like kind of like sit down at the table on the other side.
I think Holly turns around and is like, "You were both pretty bad."
How dare you? Who do you think you are, mademoiselle? And I think that the Hedge like leans back in the chair like, I have to be quite frank. I feel she's not entirely off. We were terrible. This is a very, very poor showing of our performance, lad.
I'm Holly.
Well, there's, in performance sometimes if you're not satisfied with yourself, sometimes it doesn't come across on stage. Maybe you need to look internally into yourselves and find the issues in your own dynamic. And if that is causing issues between the two of you, I believe that might come to the fore when you were on stage.
Don't you put that whiskey back in your mouth, you old dustball. Who dragged you out of a closet anyway? I don't know what a lot of you are thinking about, talking about my ability to perform with such disrespect. How dare you? I think he throws his cup at the pair of yeah.
Well, you seem like a perfectly well-adjusted individual.
I think Holly is standing up on her chair and she goes, "How dare you? You better talk to Mr. Quilliam with some respect. That is no way to talk to anybody. I was just trying to offer you some advice, and you are a truly terrible, ill-tempered person, and your music is bad."
Holly?
Is everyone looking at us?
Birds are looking at you at this way. Oh, God. Is kind of turning and looking. And I think that the Jerbeen at this point, he steps up on the table, right? Some beer foam around his little mousy mouth, and he's just "You, madame, are a cantankerous and unpleasant young woman, and this old Hedge has the audacity to speak so to me. I have traveled far and wide. I have performed at Alderheart. I have performed in every great city of the Humblewood, and not until I tethered myself to the ineptitude of this fool next to me have I ever been treated such insulter's port." And I think that the Hedge is just "My word, you truly are an angry little fellow. I've made a terrible mistake, it seems, but nonetheless, at least the drinks are free."
I would turn to Obi and say, "More like insulters, port. Get it?"
That's a good one.
And I think that the little Jerbeen hops off the table and is "I am going back inside to have my pitcher refilled. You find some talent for the next act, you insipid fool." And he staggers his way into the back of the building, clearly very drunk,
I would ask the other. So, are you Gustav or are you? Is it Maz?
Yeah, I think
what is
that
it? Gustav and Maz?
The Hedge sitting at the table is "That's right, I'm Maz. That one is Gustav."
Maz, I do find that occasionally Jerbeens can be a little bit hot-tempered and easy to anger.
I mean, that's painting with a broad stroke there, clearly.
In my experience, we Hedges tend to be a little bit more considered and calm in our approaches to things. Isn't that right? Whatever your name was. Maz.
I think that he is just I'll be honest with you, old chap, I'm not sure you're entirely wrong. The fact of the matter is that, he was the best partner that I could pick up. My last flute player fell out of a window in Brackenmill, cracked his head. He's never been able to really match his old performance. I thought that this one was all right, but every evening as soon as the sun goes down into his cups, and here we go.
Defenestration is a difficult issue, I can understand
Lost
that.
far too many performers to it, really.
I know. Well, you might be in luck. You see, I happen to be in a traveling companion with one of the greatest performers I have ever seen. Obi, this man seems to be in need of a partner. I mean, you're a performer.
Yes. You suggest
Why
that I
don't-
abandon all of you and strike up with this
Well, the routine is really a mouse, a Jerbeen Hedge.
What's a mouse?
Show. So Holly, sorry. So I think if anybody's gonna take Gustav's place, Holly.
I mean, Mr. Obi's the one that does the performing.
He could teach you just for one show.
Maybe if you go on stage and Obi hides behind the stage and whispers to you what to do.
Well, I don't know. Apparently, we're all hot-headed, temperamental people. So maybe I'm too emotional to go up on stage.
Calm down, Holly. Calm down.
It's gonna be a bar fight one way or another.
PvP.
How about the Mr. Maz? Why don't Quilliam and Holly perform? They pretend to go up and be Gustav and Maz. They do a little opening act. I mean, if it's bad, it will make you two look better, and if it's good, maybe I don't know the reason why it would be good and that would be good for you, but just let it happen. It's very funny.
Are you insinuating that all Hedges and Jerbeens look alike?
No, but I have a disguise kit, so I could make you look exactly like Gustav and Mons.
Well, I can't see how that could possibly go wrong.
I think Mars is sitting here, looking at you, turning back and forth, well, I mean, you two do seem to have, quite a similar personality compatibilities as Gustav and myself, and you might in fact be excellent performers.
Me and Holly have a certain compatibility.
You, though, a performer, you say, sir. Are you a musician? I think that he's asking of.
To some degree, but dancer, primarily.
Ah, yes. Of course.
Yes. I've spent many a year, many a season dancing with the Killator Volters, actually. Traveling about.
Don't say, my boy. Well, they are widely regarded, of course. Who has not heard of the Volters?
Well, I like to think that. But it seems my days with the Volters, at least temporarily, on pause. Not pause, but pause.
I think he was I was very confused there for a moment. Aren't we all on pause?
Well, I like to think that we have something more akin to claws, but it's more or less the same sort of thing.
Excellent, you Mapach, great finger pickers. The truth of the matter is, I would be remiss to replace my slightly incompatible partner with you for fear that he may try to stab you in your sleep. He is clearly a very angry, jealous little fellow, and, well, I would not want to put you in harm's way. That being said, if the pair of you would care to perform during the intermission, of course, I would never get in the way of great art, my boy.
Yes. Tonight could do with some great art.
I see your insinuation, and I'm too old to care.
I mean only minimal offense. It's just compatibility. It's so important with artists. Working together.
The truth of the matter is...
DM, can I ask how the audience is looking? Are they looking to be entertained, or are they just kind of happy in their tent? Are they expecting some form of performance, or are they happy?
I think many of them are
just
drinking
sit around
and
and
eating.
drink.
I'm not moving all the tokens, but I think some of them have gotten up, they've gone inside, they're using facilities, they're refilling their drinks, they're getting new bowls of bug nachos and this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Bug
And I think
nachos.
that Mars is just the truth of the matter is, once, a great time ago, I placed a great deal of emphasis in the quality of the performance, but I've grown jaded and cynical in my years, and really I just want to get paid for my work, so I do my best, but when you are shackled to drunken flute-playing Jerbeen, well, you're just looking for a room to stay for the night. And
Can I posit something to
of course.
What? if you struggle so much with this Jerbeen accompaniment of yours, you are a capable musician in and of yourself. Why not just take it on the road as a solo act?
And I think that he's like, well, the fact of the matter is, and I think that it's at this point you hear the like, you insipid fool. You're trying to replace me again, aren't you? I've had enough of this. Only for 2 months have I traveled with you, but already everywhere we stop you are speaking ill about me. You are always telling people it is my fault. You have not tuned the strings on that lute since your mother dressed you in short pants. And I think that Mars does like sighs and like looks back at you. Honestly, it's beginning to make a great deal of sense to me. I'm not entirely sure why I've placed myself in this position.
Fair. Sometimes you think you have a partnership and you think it's all going well, but sometimes the better thing is just to take your own path forward.
Is that what you did then? Leaving the Voltas? Looking to make your own act? Carve your own way through the world?
Not so much. It was not my choice to put the Voltas on pause. But hopefully, perhaps, I will return to them gloriously one day. But we'll see. Perhaps I should take a leaf of my own advice and. Yes.
Well, yes. I think he's like eyeing you strangely, and at this point, Gustav has like come back over to the table, like he's drinking the like kind of beer sloshing out of his mug as he walks like tipsily back towards you and just like smashes the cup down on the table and like I am done with you. After this village, I go my own way. I will head to Marshview. I will begin my own tour from these foolish country bumpkins. They will see a performance the likes of which they could never have imagined. My name will ring out across the wood as the greatest flautist who has ever played. And you fool, I am done with you.
I heard there's really no good places to perform in Marshview. You should really go somewhere else.
Just because you have said that, I will make for myself an extended stay in this village.
Here or in Marshview?
Both!
Can't really be in two places at once, good sir.
I'm sick of all this logic. I've had enough of this. I wait for you, you lout. Tell me when you are done with your break. We have music to make. And I think that he like stalks back over to the stage away from you. And Mars is just kind of like sitting there like, what lot have I placed myself in? I am truly a fool.
Mr. Quilliam, can we go see if we can do it better than they did? Because they were really bad.
Well, I don't think it's possible for us to do it worse.
Please.
And Mr. Obi, you'll go next?
Sure, why not?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe Miss Ode, you'll do it with him?
Aren't we trying to hide Odella?
But you disguised yourself first.
I
have
don't
not
think
disguised, but
putting her up on stage for all to see would be the...
While
Stand
Mr.
down in
Quilliam
plain
and I
sight.
do the first one, that you disguise yourself, and then you and Mr. Obi can go up. What could go wrong? Worst case scenario, we fight some people.
Worst case scenario.
I'd rather not fight if that's at all possible. I did promise Madame Luna I would keep you safe, and I do not think getting into a tavern brawl would exactly fall into that category.
But it would be fun.
I don't like what this watered down mead has done to you, Holly.
If you think this is not the way that I left Marshview, then I don't know what to tell you.
What are you saying?
Did you somehow sneak something past my very impressive passive perception?
No, I'm saying that Holly's been picking fights her entire life.
Very good. Well, okay, let's see what we're doing.
So Quilliam and Holly, you guys gonna march over to the stage? What are you guys gonna do?
I don't know.
Well, what they were doing, like a
playing
instrumental
Yeah, they're just
performance?
playing instruments,
Yeah.
right? They're playing their their flute and their mandolin. I'll let you guys workshop it for a second here. I'll be right back.
Sing a song.
Holly, do you know any songs?
I don't know, just like the songs that like no.
I do know one song. Do you think they'd like to hear it?
Yeah. And then I could like dance around you.
Amazing.
Okay. Well, it's been a while. Excuse me, miss. Slightly impatient, ill-tempered miss who gave us our drinks. May I have another whiskey before I sing
What
the
are you
song?
talking to me? I think that like Maina sticks her head out of the back of the place.
Yes, you're the one, yes.
I thought I told her that lazy lad would
That's
bring
the
you a bottle. Here you go. I think that like she walks over and like tunk, she like drops the like whiskey bottle down on the table in front of you as you've gotten up, and I think she like leans down in next to you, Quillia, and like kind of whispers to you. I've never seen you around here before. Maybe when you put your little children to bed, we meet for a nightcap.
Well, now that's very flattering, and I thank you for it. But no. That's it's never quite
No.
appealed to me.
No.
That no, I no. What may I say? What you may be looking for, you will not find in this gentleman. Sorry.
I understand.
You're a very lovely lady, and I'm sure there are many out there, but I'm just not interested in that.
Maina's been here for a long time, that's all. I thought maybe I see a fresh face.
I am far from a fresh face, my darling, I assure you.
Mr.
Have a
Quilliam,
very-
if you're done flirting,
And I think she turns to you.
Is that
like,
what I'm doing? I thought that might have
Looked
been
like
the
it to
opposite
me.
of what I was doing, but
maybe your
okay.
instincts say right, and maybe you keep the liquid alcohol away from this girl. She's impertinent.
Oh, it is the effervescence of youth. So, hello everybody.
Hello, the crowd. Hello.
hello, Salter's Park.
I guess I have to sing a song for you now.
I think you hear the muttering from
okay.
backstage. He does not have to sing.
Shut up.
Fuck it, I'm gonna sing this song. Okay. So come guess me this riddle. What beats pipes and fiddle? What's hotter than mustard and milder than cream? Oh, what best wets your whistle? What's purer than crystal, sweeter than honey and stronger than steam? What will make the lame walk? What will make the dumb talk? The elixir of life and will always bring smiles. And what helps the dear cymbal stay frisky and nimble? Sure isn't it whiskey from old Moonshay Isles? So stick to the creature, the best thing in nature, for sinking your sorrows and raising your joys. And Lord, I'd have wonder if lightning and thunder was made from the plunder of whiskey, my boys. Thank you.
Huzzah!
Not a bard. I am not a bard.
Could have fooled me.
This is not the character I expected that song to come out from.
Yeah.
I like that we get Aiden to sing when he's not a bard. Well played.
Yeah, if you think that I haven't been trying to get that to happen for the last 20 minutes, I don't know what
And what was Holly doing
Yeah,
during
what does
that?
Holly do?
Holly was dancing around.
Dancing
She was
around.
doing like a little
jig.
Jerbeen, a little like Jerbeen jig.
So thank you, Sabotage at the end for the bits. First of all, Aiden, I think you have to take inspiration. I feel like maybe I should give it to Melissa for leveraging you in there, but you did the singing, so you may have Dungeon Master inspiration, as I think that, like, you sing this song and this, like, quiet, this hush falls over the crowd of bird folk in front. And I think that, like, Mars, the hedge sitting at the table by you, Obi, and Odella is just like, my word, the old man is good, isn't he? And, Holly, you're like, that's like, I think that there's, like, just this moment of, like, protracted silence as Quilliam's voice, like, dwindles and he's standing, like, holding his glass of whiskey or whatever. There's, like, some murmuring in there. Like, applause takes up, and the bird folk are all like, oh, and like, they all start to kind of, like, slowly rise, clapping, completely, like, taken with this performance on your part.
All
Don't
right,
forget to
soldiers,
tip your
board, let's
waiters.
go wild.
I don't know. They all cast prestidigitation and hold one flame up on their fingers.
I cast produce fame and fireworks come out of
And so I think it's like, as this is happening, you guys, like, I think that Holly, you hear from, like, behind you, like, well, by the amaranth, that unfortunately was very good. As you turn, like, you see, like, the angry face of this little drunken Jerbeen on the stage with you. And I think that Obi, Odella, as you are, like, sitting at the table, like, kind of smiling over at your friends on the stage, I think you hear a voice like, yeah, that couldn't possibly be you, Odella Honorable, could it?
Well, like, get much smaller, like, shrink. Do I see who it is?
Obi,
You,
Can
like,
peek
turn
out?
and glancing over your shoulder. You see this, like, Mapach peering out of the back door at you. You recognize Elko immediately. And he's just like, he's an older Mapach, gray, beyond, like, the gray of his fur, right?
Yeah.
This gray worn into the black around his mask, right? And he's just like, they came and told Hubert and I you were here, and I didn't think for an instant that you'd come walking back into this town. Not so quickly.
Do I have a sense of, like, do I have any room to, like, maneuver here? Like, is he very much like, you're in big trouble?
Make an insight check.
I think as well, as soon as this voice comes creaking over, Obi is going to stand from his seat and kind of shift to the end of the table here. So he's kind of not blocking Ode, but is at least kind of, like, positioning himself a little bit closer. And I think in a very, like, intentional way, as he sort of leans back against the table, he makes sure his coat kind of pulls back to see the blade at his side as he just kind of stares at this Mapach, just kind of positioning himself in between a little bit as possible.
I mean, I think that
but not wanting to intrude on
yeah,
Ode.
I think, like, Elko looking back at you, he, like, tilts his head, like, I know you. Right, you're the brother with the bad leg. And I
Put it to the chest if you like.
he's got, like, a kind of short coat on, and I think, like, he just, like, pulls kind of the sides of the coat back, hooking his thumbs into his belt, and you could see a couple of, like, daggers, like, strapped to his chest, right, and these, like, various kind of bandoliers almost, leaning up against the doorway as he looks at you. What'd you roll there, Adela?
12.
12. What's that here? Let's do one. Yeah, I think that you have a bead that he's like toying with you a little bit. Maybe he's trying to like delay you and hold you. Like you don't know if there's a lot of.
I think I would like whisper to Obi, like, we should maybe go.
You get out of here. And he kind of whispers back, and he sort of stands up, sort of leaning, so he's not leaning on the table anymore, looking at the Mapach, and just sort of brushes his hands. Friend, I think you might be mistaken. I think perhaps we should just have a conversation, just the two of us. Just keep it nice and simple, nice and light. Perhaps we've got plenty of food still here if you're hungry. And he's going to just sort of like keep talking and sort of meandering through words. And Obi's going to cast Enthrall on this Mapach.
Sorry, I know. I keep scaring you guys with giant tokens,
Ginormous.
right? Yeah, let's see what Enthrall.
So
enormous
does.
vessel, the
wisdom saving.
Only D&D players will understand the scariness in which a giant token on it. Appear. No.
Oh no.
So
It's okay. We can hit it.
He needs to make a wisdom saving throw against my DC, which is, I think, a 13. Let me double check. Yeah, a 13.
That's a big.
So as Obi is just sort of talking at this Mapach, Elko, the magic of his words sort of filters through, and the creature is charmed by me, which gives me advantage on charisma checks, but also he has disadvantage on perception checks to perceive any other creature than me.
Excellent. Noted.
As his like vision is drawn onto Obi.
Yeah, and so I think he's like focusing in on you, and he's like about to reply back to you. Like, we are just having a conversation. And his
We are,
eyes
aren't we?
like glazing over a little bit as he's staring back at you, right?
Why don't we just, take a moment, let all of this, filter down. There's a table right here. Food, drink. Come. And Obi kind of glances over his shoulder to Adela and kind of gives the get
Yeah,
get out
Adela's
of
gonna
here.
try to go, but I think like sneak back over this way with the intention of like getting the attention of the two on stage to be like.
I'm
go.
going to say to the two of you on stage, actually, what's your passive perceptions, you guys?
17.
9.
Tale of two wisdom scores. You spot easily skulking up here along the side of the building. This like Jerbeen looking, kind of like a weaselly looking fellow, right? Almost with this reddish kind of fur, kind of tattered cloak, sort of similar to that which Odella wears, right? Like worn, haggard clothes of the kind of street urchins of Saltersport. And he's like creeping up along the edge of the building and like stops as he peers up around the corner back towards like where Odella and Obi are. But then Odella herself like kind of signals all of you.
I would move this way to be like, what's like
Got
30
it.
feet? Like here, and then being like, move that. I'm basically like pointing to where the thing, but I don't know it's there. So
You see this one
Yeah.
over
Yes.
here.
Yeah. Yes. So this guy is transfixed here. Elko kind of like enthralled by your magics, Obi, as he like you're kind of like gesturing to the table, like I really should let you bear no.
I don't think there's any need for that. I mean, you can let you bear no later. Have a drink with me.
Word love. He has a disadvantage to use your thing.
It's good stuff.
Make a persuasion check.
With advantage because he's charmed, correct? So here we go. 17.
Yeah, and I think he like glances back at the door and like then towards you, his attention kind of fixed on you. It's like, Well, just one can't hurt. As he like steps over, like
And one is the gateway to more.
sitting down at the table. And I think that Mars, the like Hedge, is still kind of sitting here watching all of this play out, like interest twinkling in his eyes as he takes his pitcher and like pours a drink, sliding it over to Elko while Elko sits down. Right. So just let's cut to the stage for a second. Holly and Quilliam, it's been a second. What are you guys doing?
Do I see that weasel
Yeah.
walking its
Yeah.
way? Like, are they eyes on Odella? Does it look like they are divorced from the
Yeah.
crowd and are looking at something else?
This weasel at the
Okay.
corner especially appears to be like peering around back towards the table where everybody was, and it's like eyeing Odella.
Well, my friends, I am glad that you enjoyed my song. Unfortunately, we have to go, but there will be an after party. If you need to know where there will be more fun and singing, just talk to my manager over there in the corner. I highly encourage you to rush around them and flood them with questions as much as you can. Like, it doesn't, the quicker you rush and the harder you crush against them, the quicker we will all get out of here and have a lovely time.
The bird folk are all like turning, looking over there. Why don't you make a persuasion check there, Quilliam?
Oh, that's usually
I know.
my favorite
I know, I
sentence.
love making your old druid roll this stuff. Look, I didn't make you roll a performance check with your dulcet voice.
That's an
yeah. And I think they all like turn and
I know exactly how Sam Riegel felt in campaign 2.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. I think they all kind of like turn as you're gesturing and like shrug, looking back to each other, chattering. Holly, what are you doing here?
I would like to make a 30-foot standing jump.
Yeah, I mean
over
that's
there.
just a thing you can do. I think you hear a voice of like
Yeah.
as like Gaspar is kind of like stepping off the back. I'm sorry, Gustav. He's just like, wait, your manager is over there? Are a lot of you hiring more acts? I cannot stand another day with this incompetent fiddle player. He is the worst. But your voice is quite good, old man. And like it's at this point, Holly, you
Thank
like
you.
leap jumping.
Bye. Yeah, and so I think I'm just gonna jump over and be like, "Who are you? What do you want?"
And I think that like this like weaselly looking stoat at the corner here like pulls back as you jump towards it and like fumbling like ching, a short sword comes out at their hand pointing towards you like, who am I? Who the hell are you, lady? You just stay out of my way.
I'm Holly. I've introduced myself to a lot of people tonight. You would think people would know my
Have
name
you
by now.
introduced yourself to me? Well, I guess
No, but
Just
I'm Holly.
did.
Who are you?
me? I'm called Dennis. That's right, Dennis.
Dennis?
Dennis.
Okay. What's your deal,
My
Dennis?
deal is I don't entirely love the name, but Mama gave it to me, so I gotta carry it with me my whole damn life.
Oh wow, I really didn't ask your whole life story.
I thought
just
you meant
like,
about
right
the
now.
name
What are you doing
specifically.
right
My
now?
deal right now is that I got business. I'm working. You're working up there on that stage, right? So I'm working. Why don't you just step right out of my way and let me
Working
get to work?
it, yeah. What's your job?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you said
that's
you're
right. Well, I mean, it's not the kind of job I do a lot of bragging about, but I'm actually a pretty reputable bandit, and I do a lot of thieving and stealing. Except that one of our own kind of thieved and stealed us, and so now my boss got me over here, and I'm supposed to cut off that one right there if she tries to run. And I think I get this way.
I feel like I'm.
This is a
continuing
long
to
six.
This is the point,
direction.
Odella.
I don't know how close I am
Yeah,
when
this
that
is
happens.
the point where I think you're like walking and like you see all of this as Dennis like steps around the corner and points at you, and he's like, "Oh shit, she sees me."
And I would be like, "Oh, you can."
And I thought,
Oh,
And I think
okay.
that's the point where we'll just roll initiative, right? let's click some tokens and roll initiative.
I think Obi,
That's such a
Obi is
roll 20 DM thing to say. Let's click some
Yeah.
tokens. Roll initiative.
subtle. And I think Obi is definitely like positioned himself so that he has like a clearer sight of Ode. He's kind of moved around the table so that he can kind of see towards the direction that she was moving and towards everyone else over here. And also kind of positioning himself between this bandit guy and
Oh.
our
Yeah,
elderly
Quilliam.
fella. Woo!
Oh,
Oh. Somebody rolled that.
it's okay. It's a thug.
That would work.
Yeah.
Thug.
That would work.
Thug.
And then my guys inside here. Let's just get them. Board.
I thought.
Don't
I
worry about the
rolled
guys
well.
inside. They're far away. It's fine. They have no
don't
idea
know
what's
really what's going on.
I would like to point out Quilliam still had a fairly good persuasion. He just rolled like dick.
Mhm.
Also,
I
I
got
was
a lot of persuasion tonight.
I have Holly has like a +1 charisma, so I was like ready to roll a performance check. It's not great, but it was like not as bad.
I would let
it
you roll a
could've been.
performance check with the dex as you're dancing around. Roll initiative. I love the sabotage emotes. Killing it here. So, with that, Quilliam, you are seeing this all play
Oh,
out.
wow.
So, hey! Thank
Yeah.
you, Anonymous.
Oh, nice.
I really, really appreciate it. For real. We've been like on a bit of a break through January. We're just kind of getting back on the bike in early February here. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, whoever that was. Like, I really appreciate it.
Desmond Hume.
Who's that?
I wonder
Yeah,
who that
could
is.
that be? Who could that possibly be? With that,
The Ariel that's.
I know. I love the familiar faces
We
in
know
our
some of these
crew
people.
here. I think that with that, Quilliam, the old Hedge on the stage, you, sir, with the vantage of all that is playing out in front of you, may act first.
Oh dear. And he will get down off the stage and I just want to measure this. Yep. And just kind of bustle his way down. Yeah, like, how high is the stage? Like, is it
It's 5 feet, it's not like a 10-foot tall stage. It's a 5-foot tall stage.
like, can I get to there? Is what
Yeah.
I'm asking. That's 25 feet, which is my movement. It's like, oh dear.
Absolutely.
Odella, they're after you.
Guys,
And he shall put his hands on Odella and cast invisibility.
Oh,
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 what a good friend.
sweet.
yeah. And she's probably gonna attack and destroy it in a
With
second.
advantage.
Yeah, she got
Yeah.
sneak attack though.
With advantage. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so yay, invisibility, because God knows I can't have a character without that
Oh.
spell.
My
Ah.
exercise these days,
Mhm.
Aiden, is to try to force myself to play characters without it. I just refuse to take it.
Well, one of these days I'll play a character that doesn't sing. And then
Apparently not.
it may happen someday, but it is not this day.
Yeah, when you were building Quilliam, you're like, this guy will definitely sing it someday.
Yeah.
There's no
There's no way.
conceivable way he won't, right? So that's your movement, that's your action. Bonus action, is there anything else?
Yeah, why not? I shall go. Okay, Odella, you go away, and Patrick. And as a bonus action, he shall summon a spiritual hawk.
Oh,
I like that moment where Aiden has to come up with like yet another like generic
Another name.
name.
It was like, Jeremy, nope, that's the bear. Patrick! Patrick the hawk appears and...
Patrock.
Patrock.
Patrock. Patrock.
Pat-
His name is Patrock.
Here you go. You should have
Uh,
control of this hawk that I just dropped right next to you.
Okay, I just want to see... Oh, within 60 feet of me, okay. So I shall put it... Patrock. There! And so when a creature makes an attack roll against a creature in the spirit's aura, which is 30 feet, I believe.
So, yep.
Yep. I can use my reaction to give it advantage. And everybody has advantage on wisdom perception checks. And that is my turn. Have
Allies
fun,
have
everybody.
advantage.
Yes, I found the allies. I'm sorry, Obi.
It's all good.
Player C. Here you go. You guys should be able to see that.
There we go.
Awesome.
Okay, the hawk appears, creating this area. Quilliam, that's your movement, that's your action, that's your bonus action on 21. Around the corner, like, scurries this other Mapach, like, turning and kind of looking over towards the table, and they're like, "Oi! Elko! What do you do, mate? You letting her get away?" And then I think he, like, just gonna start darting towards Odella.
Can't see me.
You let her get away! You stupid idiot! But I think that,
Who are you looking for? What's going on? Huh? Nobody's here. Who's Odella?
I think that actually they, like, dart over and they throw the back door of the room open and they like, yell into the inn. Like, "You bear! Elko's drunk on the job! He's letting her get away!" That was a lot of me saying the same thing, I know. 19, 19.
I love it.
Meanwhile, I think Dennis is, like, looking down at you like, "Are you gonna try and hit me?"
Are you gonna try and hit me?
What do you want to do?
And I think he swings.
I
Yeah, I
know.
think he's
What
going to
do you
swing
want?
at you at this point. He, like, slashes with his little sword. I think he's going to try to do non-lethal damage, but he does attack you. He tries to, like, punch. Oh! 20!
You can do it, Rich.
I think he just, like, crack whomps you on the top of the head with the butt of the sword, Holly, and you manage to take 5 points of subdual damage here, non-lethal damage. Nonetheless, he, like, cracks you in the head with this, like, "How are you still awake? Shit!" That was his action. Yeah, for his bonus action, he doesn't have anything. I think he just, like, steps around, like, yelling, like, "I lost her! I lost her! She's gone!" That's that. On 18, this is all, like, happening inside. People, like, getting up, moving. Odella, you're also up on 18. What do you want to do?
Going to bonus action dash, I think. Well, actually, no. Let's see here. 25, 30. Ooh, I would love to flank. Actually, was I here? I just want to measure some stuff. Yeah. Ooh, I had my
it's no
turn planned,
problem.
I promise.
Till a hedgehog ran up to you and made you invisible.
I do feel like should come this way, actually. So bonus action dash, and then to the guy that's charmed to do that. Yeah, stab the charmed guy in the back with a day.
Okay,
yeah, at advantage.
Emily worried,
That hits.
but exhausted worried.
21. Is that
There's
right?
so many
Yeah.
people coming out the door.
Lots about
I
to
know.
happen.
16
are you
points
trying
of
to
damage.
kill him?
I just. This is bad. I didn't say subdual, so
I think you come like
came
running
up
up
instead.
from
They're trying
behind,
to
and
take-
you're like
they're trying to
looking
attack me.
down, Obi, at this like fella. He's like just staring, transfixed as you, as like Odella just.
I'm like smiling, trying to like, be charming, a little flirty, just like, come on, just have a drink.
Just get sprayed with blood.
I'm gonna stab him. Like I like appear, and I'm like,
just
we gotta
sad
go.
I gave Elko one of the good.
You were supposed to
I gave Elko one of the good NPC voices, and now it dies with him as you like plunge the dagger into his back, and Obi, like your sister, just appears in front of you. Like the three of you, Mapach, right? You in like your dignified clothes, you're standing, you're talking to this guy. He's like just sat down, Elko, and is like picking up the drink handed to him by Mars, tilts it back as like the like mug falls free from his hand, and you think he just like coughs like and keels sideways out of the chair. Odella like standing over him with blood on the knife while he dies on the ground.
That was bad.
Mhm.
That was pretty bad.
Oh my lord!
Can I
Of course.
can I ask a question? How tall is the
It's
building?
only like about 15 feet tall, right? Like it's really not huge. It's a 1-story building.
For map purposes, is it going to be bad if I try to climb up the side of the building?
One might think that it could be, but the fact is that I, Grace, I'm a professional dungeon master, and so sometimes I do stuff like this. And
wow!
Are fully equipped to go wherever you want on a map.
So I have 20 feet of movement left. So I think it's like 5, 10, and then 10 feet up. So I think at the end of my turn,
you
I'm
like
on
dart
the
to the wall, like scaling it easily. And yeah, you're like just kind of got your hands up on the top roof. Odella, that was your turn on 18. Obi, on 17, you're up. You hear screams from your left as you see this Mapach that's like thrown the back door open and is yelling inside like, she's gone, you bear. And then you see the Jerbeen teenager from the beginning of the night like creeping out from around the shadows over here on the far side of the yard. And both of them, I think, point like, she killed Elka! One of them screams, like, she's on the roof!
Oh boy. So I think Obi, what Obi thought was happening is not what's happening, and in a little bit of a panic, he watches Ode sort of scurry across. So I think what Obi's gonna do is he's gonna just kind of take a couple steps sort of towards the group here, just kind of like hands up and just be like, friends, let's just calm down here. This is all getting a little out of hand. Plenty of food, plenty of drink, plenty of... Look at me!
You're covered in blood!
He is going to, again, attempt to cast Enthrall. And what I missed the last time is he can do it on any creature that is within range of his choice.
Nice.
So... can he, as he sort of moves around, because he saw this other Mapach throw open the door and kind of shout back inside, as he sort of like moves over so he can see into the doorway, can he see anyone coming that seems like they are rushing towards the doorway?
You ready? If you take like one more 5-foot step, I think you can easily like see this like this Mapach and another one of these like weasel folk, and standing behind them is the Strig with the eye patch, and they're all kind of like shoving chairs, barreling out of the way. You certainly hear their footsteps from inside, so I think you could see these guys inside.
All right, so then Obi is going to again attempt to cast Enthrall. They all have advantage on the save because we're fighting them. But DC 13 Wisdom save.
Got it. So here is 1, 2. These guys all.
Oh, it would have been so great if we didn't. They didn't have it.
It would have, I know, right? But so 2 of them do not fail. Basically, hold on, let me just make sure I'm marking these right. So this guy.
Shouldn't there be a 5th as well for the little?
Yep, he's just got a different stat block, so I'm going to give him a different thing.
Cool,
so he is enthralled. He's not. He is enthralled, and now my where am I? Sorry, bear with me one second. Right. Wisdom. He's got a little bit of bonus in the wisdom save. 21, not. But so 2 of them are absolutely like enraptured by your words, at least.
I think you should just take a drink, have some food, just continue to enjoy your evening. You know, go back to your food, go back to your drinks, just settle down. And I think, does Obi have a sense of like who hasn't succumbed to his charms?
I think that you see that at least this Mapach that's outside the door is like clearly like staring at your sister as she climbs the side of the building. And I think that you see that like the owl and the weasel behind the Mapach inside are like, what are you doing? And they're like grabbing him, trying to pull him out of the way, getting into the place, right?
And I think
anybody ever seen Tucker and Dale versus Evil? I can just imagine covered in blood. It's like, well, we've had a doozy of a day on.
And I think Obi, as he's continues to sort of walk, he's gonna like click his freshly acquired shoes together with a bonus action. He's gonna increase his speed, and he is going to shift to stand in the doorway, putting himself between those that are within that maybe aren't charmed to prevent them easily getting out. As he just kind of, it's like, just keep it simple. Go back to your foods. Back to your drink. There's going to be more performance later. I can't assure it's going to be good, but there's going to be something. And he's just continuing to talk and just try to, keep up the charm on those that have succumbed and maybe be a bit of a distraction to those who haven't. And that's his turn.
Very good. Okay, cool. So with that, yep, you are standing in the doorway. That's going to bring us to Holly on 8.
Okay. Holly is going to move up here so that she can reach the stool that nobody is sitting on. And she's going to hit Dennis with it. And she's going to use her bonus action if it hits to deal maximum damage.
Advantage.
Oh!
Utterly unnecessary.
Love to see it.
So not that it matters, but it's max, so it's 8 doubled and then doubled again.
Yep.
Or just 3.
We'll go with doubled and doubled again. What did you get? 8 to 16 to
Yeah, what's 8 times 4? 32 bludgeoning damage. And I don't think my when you're wielding a melee with one hand and no other weapon, you gain a +2 bonus to damage. So do I also... So then that's also +2 for my dueling fighting style.
34
34
points of damage. As Holly
that's not a dice,
steps
so
around next to Dennis, grabs this stool, and it's just like, BAM! And you watch as it explodes, splinters flying everywhere. The disc at the top of the stool just cartwheeling up into the air as Dennis is lifted up off his feet son of a crashing back into the ground. Done. Dennis's life story will not be retold as he hits the ground. His head twisted sideways. The sword loose in the dirt next to him, shattered. I think the bird folk next to you, Holly, are my word, that was impressive. Yeah.
He did 5
How much
damage to you, Holly, and you killed him.
I did 34
How much
damage back.
How is it 34?
Yeah, how is that possible?
So this is, are we doing this properly? I don't know. But so I broke it with my bonus action, so I do maximum damage, which is a d4 plus 4. So it's 8.
Plus
and then
4.
it was a nat 20, so we doubled that, but also
Is that just 2d4 plus 4 then?
Yeah, probably.
It is 2d4.
Yeah.
So it's 8
It's
plus
12
4,
plus 2,
which is 12.
is
Plus 2 is the
16.
dueling style.
Yeah.
There we go. That
Which
makes
is-
much more sense.
You just doubled the dice. That's an insane amount of damage.
It's not a full 32. Still more than enough to
Very impressive.
disable
Yes.
Dennis, as it were, for the rest of his life, which is literally the moments that are happening right now in this combat. Holly, that's your action. That's your bonus action as well. Is that your turn?
Yeah,
Sure.
I have some movement left. Or is everybody else on the other side
As
over
you
here? But
peer down the
everybody
side
else?
of the building, you don't see anybody else kind of coming up around this way, so you feel probably.
Okay. Okay. I'm just wondering how far I should. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna move over by Quilliam, and that'll be my
got it.
turn.
You come darting over near Quillian. That is your turn.
Quilliam just edges him and is like, ugh. After seeing this sweet little girl brutally murder somebody, Quilliam's like, oh my lord.
He hit me
These guys
first.
do not make new saving throws at the end of their turn, Austin, right? They only make... Okay,
Nope.
got it. So
It lasts until I'm incapacitated.
can't speak, right? So,
It's not concentration
So
either.
this like Jerbeen up here just kind of like steps forward half a step, like staring at you. This one inside doesn't go yet, but yeah, it doesn't basically take an action. It's just kind of like staring at you, like mumbling to itself.
Go get a refill. Why don't we just have a drink? Why don't we just have some fun? Keep it nice and light. Blah 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 blah.
Refill, right? Refill. Yeah, and like it's just like kind of dazed, like looking around, like need a cup for my refill. Meanwhile, this Mapach on the side of the building next to you, Opie, is like, just like, you ought to stay out of this. We're not here for you. And I think that like,
Not. Look at me. You're not here for me.
There's the
I
bird.
love it. I think that it like does lunge at you, like pulling its blade, just like sorcerer, and it swings. 9. That's gonna be an easy
Nope.
miss as you just like lean back out of the way. The kind of like scimitar cuts into the door frame. We hear like the thunk of wood as kind of splinters shatter off the edge of the door. That's its turn. This guy over here is Dunzo. He shall not strike again, dear Dennis. Meanwhile, though, on 18, what's your dex, Odella? So you-
18.
Yeah, no,
There's another
it doesn't.
weasel
He's
inside.
going
Does that
on
matter?
The boss's turn. You're up on 18. You get to go before they
Gotcha.
do.
Hey, wait a second.
Uh,
Just kind
What?
of.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know
you-
how I skipped over you. I just went too fast. I'm sorry, Quilliam. Thank you for paying attention.
I was just like, I'm pretty sure I rolled
You
a nat
did.
20. A DM, I have a
Yes.
question.
I love a round that starts like that.
Jumping. Can you please explain jumping to me? Can you?
Sure, you need a 10-foot running start to get like your maximum high jump, long jump. Your high jump, I believe, is 3 plus your strength modifier in feet. Your long jump is your strength score.
Cool. You know what?
There you
I'm
go.
just going to do
Okay.
a thing, and I'm gonna let you interpret it as it is. I was like, Holly, you need to promise me that if things get a little bit more hairy, you're not going to kill anybody else, and you can just get out of here. Here's a little thing that might help you with that. And he shall cast jump on
I'm
Holly.
obsessed with casting jump on a Jerbeen.
Oh
So basically,
my
this triples
God.
Holly's jumping distance, and Holly's allowed to like jump crazy amounts because she's a Jerbeen. Now the catch
Because I have
Because my
heard.
jump
is now
distance
90
is 30.
feet.
So I now have a
Okay,
90
so
feet
here's
jump
the
distance.
catch.
Because I've heard that you can't jump more than your movement speed. That's why I was asking. But I'm doing it and letting.
On
What
a
happens
combat
happens.
round, you can't jump more than your movement speed, right? So like you could full jump up to your movement speed. If you use your action to dash, or you have another dash like device, right? Then we could like max out to whatever it is. But you can't just like jump 90 feet as your movement, or that would be like
Yeah.
a thing that you would have seen me do before now.
With another
Yeah,
character,
potentially.
maybe. Pew! Star elf jumps to the stars. Oh well, done now.
Right,
and
like
then
90
I
feet. That's like without running. That's just a standing, like, outside of combat, you
Yeah.
can just do that, right? Yeah.
That's Superman.
Well, it lasts for a minute, so
And what's your
if
strength?
this doesn't
Or
go,
you can jump 10 feet straight up as a Jerbeen? Is that your thing? So you could just, like, literally crouch down and jump 30 feet straight into the air? You could, like, jump over this building.
15 feet
Wow.
high jump or
Oh, I'm
30
sorry.
feet
So
long jump with or without a
45
running
feet
start.
straight up without a running start. Yeah.
Yeah.
45 feet.
once we get out of this combat, which we inevitably will be, hopefully it won't be 10 turns, can we just spend 30 seconds watching Holly just going boing, boing,
Holly
boing,
taking
Mario
a good
jumping all
Yeah.
over this city. Okay, then on my bonus
Gummy
action,
Bear's got nothing on Jerbeen. Yep.
I shall move Patrick over here.
The bird folk are like panicking a little bit, trying to like run out away. You know, they're all like kind of running towards the stage as this is happening.
Okay. So Patrick will go over there. Holly, you're fine. I already gave you a spell. You're out of the thing. And then he shall move 5, 10, and then spend the last 15 feet of movement, like old man, scrambling up the side. Have you ever seen a overweight elderly person trying to get out of a swimming pool? Just like a just scrambling up the side of the...
Sir, unfortunately, I need an athletics check to climb the side of the building. Difficulty's only going to be 10. It's an easy climb, but you are not a Mapach with an automatic climb speed.
That's true. Athletics, you say?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You got a killer athletics score.
I got this in spades. How do you feel about 13?
Actually, that works. Yeah. We watch. It's like William's like grabbing cobblestones, pulling himself up. Like there's like a moment I think of like his little feet just dangling over the edge as you pull yourself up onto the roof. That manages to get your turn.
Oh, I'm gonna feel that in my sciatica tomorrow.
Now all that other stuff I mentioned happened, and Odella, you're up on 18. You like see behind you, Quilliam is like climbed up on the roof. You're not invisible anymore.
So just another 5 feet to be up, and then 10.
Haha! I beat you.
Yes. I think I would drop the dagger and pull the short bow. And I think feeling bad about killing Elko, I would shoot at the other charged creature, but non-lethally. I can't, right? Because it's a range weapon.
I shall shoot them non-lethally.
Well, I think let's do it anyway.
All right, let's go.
Why is everybody so bloodthirsty?
Let's have a good-natured
24.
bar fight. We said 24 hits.
I would have bonus action. No,
that's
bonus
fine. No
action
steady aim.
Is it not sneak attack if somebody's within 5 feet?
No, because I moved.
Who are you attacking?
I'm not on the same. I'm on the. These ones aren't on the.
But is Obi within 5 feet? Oh, okay.
No.
Oh,
this one way far away.
10 points.
The charmed one.
And I can't steady aim because I
put an arrow into them for 10 points of piercing damage, and I think you hear. Sorry.
7.
I'm looking at the wrong number. You hear this like cry as this Jerbeen like screams in the night, the arrow like taking them, and they're just like like stagger back a little bit, like glaring up at you. Yep, Odella, that's your movement, that's your action. Anything else?
Yeah, I'll move. I'll move. 10, 15. And then I'll hide.
Yep, as you dart over the
side
peak of the
thing?
roof and like duck down on the other side, you could try to hide for sure. Got it. Noted. That's Odella.
And I see you.
On 18.
Yeah.
17, you cannot hide from Quilliam.
On 18, Hubert goes, and I think that he's just like, get your wits about you, fool, as he like shoves this other Mapach that's enchanted, and Hubert and like this stoat, they like step up to the back door, and I think that you see this like burly Strig. It's a little bit shorter probably than you are. An eye patch over one eye, the other like reflecting the kind of firelight in this gleaming yellow, as it like steps into the door frame in front of you. It's just like, I'm not here for you. I'm here for the girl that stole from me. Will you stand aside? Okay.
I don't think so, friend. I think we could just keep things a little quiet.
At which point, like a pair of daggers comes loose. Oh, wait a minute. Why does he not have a scimitar?
Dagger.
Dagger.
Stay.
How wild is that we're like watching the Critical Role animated series night after night? It's kind of crazy. He's got his
those last 3 episodes.
He's got his sword out at this point. Actually, no, he doesn't have a sword. He's got a knife in one hand, a dagger, and he like lunges forward. He's gonna stab at you twice, Obi. 20!
Yep.
As he like plunges this dagger into your shoulder for 9 points of piercing damage.
Right.
And the knuckle. Yeah, I know. The knucklehead next to him, with the scimitar in his hand, does just kind of jam it through the door, trying to get a piece of you. 22. Poor
Yep, that
Obi
hits too.
getting cut. That's another 6 points of slashing damage. As Obi is now kind of got enemies on 3 sides. Blades flashing everywhere as you're looking in both directions. Concentration checks for enthrall. Are you holding? No concentration. Excellent.
Nope,
Cool.
It's not concentration. And I should mention as well that even though the little Jerbeen got hit by Adela's bow, it doesn't trigger another save. And it still can only perceive me, or it's got disadvantage to perceive anyone other than me.
Obi!
Wait, do you know that Jerbeen is for sure bad?
I think your sister might be a bad influence on you. She's getting you into trouble.
That's all their turns. Obi on or Al, you're up on 17.
All right. And I think Obi just looks up to let's see, individuals here that have kind of stepped up into the doorway, and it's like, really, friends? Bringing violence, spilling blood in Maina's fine establishment here. This is really what you want to do? Well, I can simply say, just if we're going to do this, well, there's only one of me, and I feel like that's not quite fair. And as he draws his blade and his buckler shield now to make sure he's got that extra AC, he claps it together, sparks fly off the shield, and as the momentary dizzying, blinding light of the sparks casts across them, you now see 4 Obis standing across as he casts mirror image, and he's going to stay where he is and kind of keep this wall of holding the doorway
Obi
here.
Holding the back door, his body shimmers, the images kind of appearing and mingling through him as these transposed Obis all kind of stand holding this back doorway. That's your turn. That brings us to Holly.
Okay, can you clarify for me, all of these people around Obi are all inside, right?
Yeah, that's a great question. So this guy right here is outside. The one Mapach is standing outside. It had come around the corner of the building and kind of thrown the door open. These other 2 are inside the building. And for whatever reference, if you want one, Melissa, these are windows, the little cutouts on the side of the building, right? There are windows here.
Okay. So, theoretically, could I jump here and shoot this guy through the window?
No, you'd have to go to here to get to a window. That's a good point, actually. That is a window. Yeah, you're right. That is a window. You could then, but you're
so I can shoot this
it's
guy
really
right
weird because you're now technically within 5 feet or whatever. So I guess if you went a space up, now you could shoot him through the window. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I am just going to no. So that was my action to dash over, was my 60-foot jump to get there. I think that's just going to be my turn, but I'm just going to shout at Obi and be like, back up so I can get to them. And that's it.
That's your movement. That's your action for the dash in the one mega jump, no bonus action or anything like that. Holly, that's your turn. This kid is enthralled and hurt. He's staring up at the roof with teenager.
Kid?
Sorry.
Not much better for me.
Yeah.
Is enthralled and
Better.
hurt. It's not really sure where it got shot from, as like it's lost complete sight of Odella. And I think that probably
Just go get a drink. Sit down,
I'm
lick
going
those
home.
wounds.
It turns and like runs into
That
the woods,
works
you know.
too.
Like there's not woods, but it like darts in like the shadows around the rocks, like scurrying out of line of sight, like the arrow protruding from its shoulder as it goes, you know. The other one inside is dazed. Quilliam, you can have your turn on your turn. What would you like to do?
I can have my turn on my turn. How nice of you. By the way, I apologize, Grace. I will learn how to play a shepherd druid eventually. I could have given you advantage on your attack in the last turn, and I just completely and
Oh, that's
utterly
fine.
forgot about it. But hopefully I can make up for that. So Quilliam will scrabble 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 over to here. Just like, Odella, you're very good at hiding. I can see you, but I'm sure other people can't.
Mm-hmm.
And he shall just he'll go kind of here and just kind of creeping over the edge, so like he's like his paws are on the lips and he's just kind of on the cusp of the thing, and he's just kind of leaning down to have a look at Obi and go, Obi, I can't see much what is going on. Hold on, maybe this will help. And he shall cast fairy fire on Obi. Not on Obi, but around Obi.
I was
Around.
like, well, that's going to help somebody.
You're gonna be caught in it.
So saving throws for all these guys, deck saves, right?
This is where
Me
Quilly
as well, yeah.
turns
And
around to be
Obi.
a big
Yeah.
man. I actually don't know if this will actually.
Okay, you're good.
19 for me.
Let me just read Fairy Fire.
Pretty sure it is
Yeah, everybody.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
You're
You know what's weird today? The
the
dice are rolling on the screen, but they're not what they say they are for me.
Oh.
It's very interesting.
Roll20's been doing some weird stuff. There was an update in the last couple of weeks, and it's been doing some tricky stuff with like the dice rolls on me. Like it's rolling double for everything, and so a lot of times, like I'm seeing the incorrect of the dice. It's very okay. What did I get here? Double check myself.
The DC is 15.
Okay, Hubert fails and is illuminated with fairy fire. As do basically all the rest of them except for Brainless over here. Okay. Yep. Fairy fire illuminating them. I think that like Mars is all of a sudden like glowing with this fairy fire. Oh no, he made a saving throw. He's good. Yeah. Okay.
He beat 15? How dare he?
I think you hear from
Oh,
inside the inn though, like, oh my God, I'm on fire! Who's just setting my inn on fire? This is ridiculous. Yeah.
It's not real! It's not real! And he shall bonus action send a hawk flying in here. He shall send the illusionary hawk flying through the window. So this that Holly was shooting in, so this silvery hawk just goes. I don't know if it makes a noise or not, but
Just
comes
did.
flying into the window.
Definitely
there.
just made a noise. I heard it.
And Quilliam will hang out on the edge of the roof.
He's hanging out.
He's hanging out. This little hedgehog just on the lip of.
That's Quilliam, which brings us to this fella up here, who will, like, seeing what's happening, as he is now, like, glowing and not thrilled, and, like, Holly's running over and Quilliam's on the roof. I think he's going to use his action to disengage from you, Obi, and he himself will crawl up on this roof. 5, 10, 15. 5, 30. Yeah, he's just gonna come actually up here, right under the peak of the roof, only 25 feet. What'd you get for your stealth check, Grace? Okay.
16.
Okay.
I think as he like comes up
Hello?
on the roof glancing and he like looks down seeing you
evening.
like she's up here like yelling. That is his turn. Odella, you're up on 18.
Yeah, shoot that guy.
As he like stops at the peak.
With advantage.
20 hits.
20.
There we go.
It came in useful.
Not sneak,
You
sorry,
do get-
5
No, it
piercing
is.
Because
a
you
damage.
had
sneak.
advantage.
You do get sneak. I used my reaction to give
Oh,
you advantage.
yes.
You
Yes.
punch an arrow into him.
10.
He staggers a little bit, like grabbing at it. He looks like badly hurt, right? Like blood kind of pooling and like soaking into the cloak almost immediately after you hit him. Odella, that's your action. You got movement and a bonus action.
Not much place to hide up here, but I'll move over a bit. Maybe
Okay.
not. Maybe
you
just
like
a little
dart
bit.
over the other edge of the thing, like shifting down towards Quilliam. That brings us to Hubert, and I think that he's like
More like Hugh Owl.
wow. I think that he's just like in front of you here, Obi. Like, do you think you're the first one to play such tricks on me?
No, probably not. But
Very well,
Working.
son. Fall for your friend. And now, like, his sword comes loose, and he starts slashing at you. So 22, or would hit you. What am I doing? I got to roll for my mirror images, or you roll.
I gotta roll a d20. So the first one, if he hits, it would strike an illusion.
Okay, hits an illusion.
So the AC for the illusion, let me double check, is 10 plus my dex, which is
Okay.
13. To
So
hit the
that's like
illusion.
2 attacks. The first one hits an illusion, then I guess, and it vanishes. You want to roll for the second one?
Yep. Second one
Okay.
also hits an
So it's
illusion.
2 illusions
Telling him.
gone. That's his action, and as his bonus action, he's got the dagger in the other hand. He's just like kind of chuckling to himself, like, a quick work of these, as he slashes again. 20.
That, let me double check. Just hit, like just
Oh,
hits
it
the
does.
duplicate.
Okay.
So yep.
With
11
that,
for the third
this
duplicate.
freaking captain, Hubert, like in a slash, you watch Holly as like all of the images just like fall away from Obi almost as quickly as they were summoned.
It's like that scene from The Matrix, right?
And
That's
meanwhile,
cool.
this here second guy inside, he like seeing the like all of you like amassing out here, I think that he's just gonna stab again for Obi. Scimitar. He's like all tied up in melee combat. He doesn't want to disengage. 16.
Oh, just
Sorry,
hits.
7 points of slashing damage. Obi
That's
getting
okay.
caught up in this.
Wait, a 16 hits, so then a 15 earlier shouldn't have hit.
The dupes
It's
have
on the
their own
duplicate on the
AC,
mirror
yeah.
image. It's different AC.
Oh, I see. Okay. I thought it
Yeah.
was
We
that
all know
if
bards are
it
the best
hit
tanks.
you, then you rolled to see if it hit a duplicate instead.
No, so it's like you roll to see whether they're aiming for a duplicate or aiming for you.
Then you
and
see
then the
check.
AC's duplicate is a little easier to hit as well. Yeah. It's a lot of shifting numbers.
Well, with that, Obi takes a couple of hits as the images are cut away. That's those guys. Obi, you are up.
So I think Obi sort of looks up and down at Hubert here and just sort of eyes him. It's like, she's not my friend. She's my sister. And he's going to attempt to take a stab at Hubert with his blade. Where is it? There it is. Oh, jeez, a 9 to hit.
Advantage. He's very fired.
He
isn't Or
is
did he
very
say?
fired, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
very hard.
he is
21 to
very
hit.
fired.
Yeah,
21
that
to hit.
totally hits. He's like ducks out of the way as the sword comes past him, and then you like snap it back in, and it like catches him in the elbow.
All right. Oh, I think I've misclicked there. So it should only be
The 8.
10 total damage. 8 plus 2.
You didn't pump
I
a
don't have
bardic
Blade Flourish.
inspiration in there, did you?
I've used up all of mine earlier today. I'm starting to run low.
I have no recollection of what we did. I'm just going by what my character sheet
Guys got in a
was.
fight in the swamp. Yep.
So as Obi stabs into Hubert here and mutters the mention of his sister, he's going to use that as a healing word on himself because he's looking a little rough.
Good to know.
Which is going to be, what is it? Where's the healing word? It's a D4. Oh, I don't have it nice and handy. 2
plus your
is it
wisdom
plus
or charisma mod,
right?
Yeah,
Plus your wisdom.
Yeah, so that'll be +5. Whoop. So that'll take me to 14. Cool. And then he is going to roll back out of the way, making room for Holly and getting away from the fight a little bit.
Holly's player forgot that she is nimble. Holly probably wouldn't have forgotten that, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
And you
In
have seen
terms
her
of-
be nimble. I feel fine reminded.
Okay, cool.
Do what you want.
Yeah, I think in that case, Obi's not going to risk the
Okay.
opportunity attack.
Okay.
So he's going to stay where he is.
Yeah, I was like, we did do that theoretically
I know,
yesterday.
right?
It was
Yeah.
just
Hours
also
ago.
2 months ago.
Today?
With that, Holly, you watch as the images are cut away from Obi as fast as they appear. He takes he lands a blow on the owl Captain Hubert here, but he gets cut in return, a sword clipping his arm. You watch him conjure this magic and hold the door. What would you like to do?
Yeah, so Holly's gonna scurry past all these biggins because they're all a size bigger than her, so she can kind of just nimbly run by all of them. And she's gonna hit at Hubert.
I'm just gonna move our guy. Yep.
And
yep,
she,
yep.
yeah, and she is going to, she's gonna swing her axe
With
at him.
advantage for all kinds of reasons. Hits 25.
Didn't matter.
For 9.
You cleave into him from behind as he growls gets his Jerbeen out of here. That's your movement. That's your action. Is that your turn?
Action
oh my
surge.
God, action surge.
Yeah.
The patient Jerbeen wins the fight. 20 hits. Melissa held that for sessions upon
For 12?
sessions upon sessions. 12.
Well, I got it back in a short rest, so I
Oh,
got it
guess
back
you
after
did.
the.
Yeah, it's much less impressive
Yeah.
now, but still well played.
Thank you. I didn't use it to get over there faster, which is what I was tempted to use it for.
Double cleave. You come darting in under his legs. I think chung, the scimitar stabbing into the wooden floor as you roll around, the axe coming over your shoulder, hammering into Hubert as feathers fluff up all around. I think you hear from the back Maina is just what do you do? You get a blood on my floor. That is your turn, Holly.
Yeah, and then all she's doing is just yelling at him as big, trying to be her most annoying self to attract him away from
Got
Obi.
it. Holly, that was your turn. This guy is gone running into the woods. Quilliam, you're up on 22.
Okay, Quilliam is going to scuttle across the lip of the roof there, just and it's Obi, are you okay?
Been doing better, but doing all right.
Well, allow my dulcet tones to heal you. And he shall cast Healing Word at level 2 on Obi. And so that is 2d4 plus 5. Roll 20. Why are you not being nice to me? So you may take 11 points of healing.
Wow.
Oh, I love it.
Wow.
That is incredible. Those are dulcet tones indeed, Quilliam.
You're
Yeah, we heard them
welcome.
earlier.
Sing more.
Yeah.
And as he's doing that, he was Michael, go get him. And this tiny little flea shall come out from the back of Quilliam's quills, followed by a small infestation, and swarm on this gentleman here, so I shall need a Constitution
On
saving
the guy on the roof? Oh boy. I know
Yes,
what we're
and
going
I'm
for here.
desperately
Yeah,
hoping
I
that
know
I roll
exactly
well
what
on this. If you know which
we're
direction I
going
want him to
for.
go
That's a
wandering.
big fail, Quilliam.
Okay, so this is the first time I've ever cast
Infestation.
this, so
Very interesting cantrip.
Yes, is so. Hold on, I shall drop it in the chat.
Yeah, it's so good, Joe. A cloud of mites, fleas, and parasites leap from Quilliam, like
So
scurrying up
perfect.
across the roof. Odella, you like watch them like race up and kind of like just surround like the pig pen cloud. This Mapach up on the peak.
6.
That's 6 points of poison damage. Moves 5 feet
Now
in a
you're gonna have to
random
roll a
direction.
d4.
You want to roll it, or you want me to
Please.
roll it?
Oh wow.
No, you roll it. You roll it.
Do we really want that 4, right? We want him to have to go
Yeah,
with.
it's 4. We're looking for
Yep.
4. Oh.
Oh.
Oh no, it's
okay.
getting closer.
He's like teetering on the edge of the roof. Actually, it almost matters not. It's like he like stumbles like and like falls backwards off the roof as like the infestation manages to kill him before he even falls. Quilliam. And you just watch his body like tumbling off the edge, just like this cloud of insects like leap back onto the roof and start like scurrying back towards the hedgehog, you know.
Michael, I only meant for you to distract her. Why
Do you
is
want me to-
everybody killing everything?
Do you want me to be a real? Okay, you want me to be a
Yeah.
real player buzzkill? Mapaches are resistant
Yep.
to poison damage.
Still, you hit him for
It doesn't
10.
matter?
He was like right on the edge of death.
Amazing.
And he manages to drop and keep himself together. But thank you. Please always give me that extra. Quilliam, that's your bonus action. You got a little bit more movement.
Quilliam will flop over the edge and just fall off the roof and just kind of go poof. There's no point being on the roof, so he will just use his last 5 feet just to kind of roll off the edge of
Got
the
it.
roof and land on the floor. I don't know if I take damage or
If
not,
you're
but I need
just
to be
going to
down there.
fall, then you will take 1d6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Well, I'd say I moved 20 feet to get over there. I only have 5 feet left, so the 5 feet is just going to be.
Yep. Yeah, then you definitely take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as you roll the like kind of 15 feet off the edge of the roof, like whoop, hitting the ground hard next to Obi.
I land next to Obi on my back. Poof! I'm here to help.
He's like impaled in the
Great,
dirt, you know what I mean? Like, awesome. That was Quilliam's turn. Odella, you're up on 18.
Okay. 5, 10, 15. I think
Okay.
I'll also jump off the roof. Does that count as any of my movement if I just jump down?
Yeah, if you have movement, you could like jump to the table and then to the ground, especially if you want.
I want to be somewhere where I have line of sight on this.
Yeah,
Mapach,
sure.
I
So if
think,
you get like
basically.
anywhere into either of those
if
two
there's a way.
spaces, yeah. You like hop down
there?
onto the table. I think like dishes, your friend's mugs all like tilting,
Mhm.
and then you hop down off the table onto the earth, peering through this window. You see this Mapach.
Oh, I was about to say I want to use my free object interaction to kick some escargot, but I actually do want to use my free object to kick the dagger that I left on the roof right there.
You got
off
it.
of the-
You
off of the
manage to
roof.
like kick it, and it tumbles off like
Yeah.
thunk, like thudding into the earth right in front of you,
Yeah.
like point down, right?
So leave the escargot alone,
Deal
then I'll
with the
shoot that
escargot
guy with a
after
short
this,
bow.
bloodbath is done. 17 hits. Yes.
Sorry, 9.
Odella effectively killing everybody that her brother charms tonight. As an arrow, like the window.
You set 'em up, I
explodes,
knock 'em down.
Glass like spraying inward into the room as the arrow takes this Mapach like right in the ear, and he like tumbles over to the ground, defeated and destroyed. Odella, that's your turn. Sure.
Can I get through the
now
window?
You just shot it out. Yeah.
Yeah, just roll a d4 to see how long
Bonus
it can
action.
take. Yes, our turn.
That's a very old. That's like a.
Somewhere
that's a good
Jeff
reference.
Sterling
Yeah.
wakes
I
up
know.
going,
Yeah. If I'm gonna I'm gonna bonus action dash.
Yeah,
So
you got
do I
your whole
I have
full
another
movement.
30
Yep.
feet of movement essentially. 5, 10, and then 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay,
And I'm going
with
to taunt Huber. Like, I'm right here. Oh, you could tell me also if I'm like moving in front. You could maybe move the roof back up. Moving. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
If I can move
I
there.
just realized I think I have to make a Constitution saving throw to see if fairy fire's still up.
Oh, you did. Yeah. Great point.
If that is why you lose concentration.
Fantastic.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
DC's 10. That's fantastic. As the fairy fire winks out, just like that, right?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I didn't take any damage from the roof. You make me take
You
damage
still
from the
had
roof.
your movement speed, and so I think like you could do it. He was out of movement speed and literally just like cheating the extra 10 feet, which means he needs to take damage for it, I think. As you come like darting inside, you see like Maina standing at the edge of the bar, and she's actually yelling at these three birds like, what do you do? You here every night? You're the perch guard. You just come here, you get drunk, you do nothing. There's people that bleeding all over my floor. Get up! Do something! She's like screaming at them.
That's amazing.
As you've like now darted into the room, that brings us to Hubert's turn here on 18. Hubert, like seeing the mayhem unleashed around him, his like enthralled, like kind of thugs shot down one by one. He stands alone with like one of his bandits left in here, and I think he just like wheels like, where did you go, Odell? Oh, you're over here. Yeah, okay. He like wheels around looking at you, Della, just like you're luckier with me here tonight. They're watching for you, thief. And he's going to, this is really brutal, he's going to stab again. Screw it, we're going to use his action as he unloads on poor Obi, who seems the most hurt. He's just going to try to go for it. Scimitar, dagger, all three attacks at you. Brutal. Miss, hit. Okay. So one slash lands, and then the dagger like punching into you. That's 16 points of damage. You are still up.
So that undoes the healing words.
At which point he is going to run. He's not going to disengage. He used his bonus action. He tries to like break and run. So Holly and Obi, you guys can make opportunity attacks against him.
Do I? Even though I'm somewhat prone on the ground, I'd say. Doesn't matter.
11 is going to miss. Yep.
Right? Oh, where is it?
No, I will use my reaction
to
give Holly advantage.
Ooh, how do you do that?
Thank you. I need to remember that I have
because
the
it is in my hawk spirit.
Sick.
Spirit totem. I got all manners of giving my friends advantage.
Sick. And what do you have going on, Holly? Slasher?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yes, when if I now hit him, then I don't have to beat myself up for not doing it last time. If I hit a creature with an attack that deals slashing damage, I can reduce the speed of the target by 10 feet until the start of the next turn.
He would use his reaction to parry. It's still not going to help. 19 hits. You guys both hit him, and his speed is reduced by 10 feet. So go ahead and roll damage.
8.
Wow, look
And
at you
8 for
two
me
with
as
your
well.
dueling style.
Wow.
20.
Can I say, as we cut to Almond, who peacefully just flips the pillow to the cool side and goes back to sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope my party are doing okay.
Noel's walking around town.
Having salted caramel.
He is like darting for the door over here. I think like Maina in front of him, and he's just like, out of my way, old woman. Meanwhile, his like minion here next to you guys, I think like is like looking at all you like, I surrender. He like drops his sword on the ground, like puts both hands up in the air as he like watches his boss run. He's like, I didn't come here to die tonight. Please. That's their turns. Obi, you're up on 17.
So this those like drop their weapons, right? So Obi's going to just kind of like move through the doorway and just kind of like give him a nod, and then go with a tumbling roll, chasing after Hubert here. And as he comes up out of this forward roll, he's going to go for a strike up Hubert's back.
Yeah, I think that the stoat in the corner is just like, I'm really sorry about the stabbing, mister. As you like come rolling up behind him, go for it. You are flanking
with
Maynard.
I'm
gonna give it to you. Yeah, she's got like the tray, and it's like, you come here every night with your hooligans drinking. You have a bar tab. Now you killing people. You leaving blood on my floor. Yeah.
What a kill stealer.
Don't worry, Maynard.
I didn't think that would
clean
work.
it up.
I didn't.
Hits.
Oh my gosh.
For 6 points of piercing damage.
Joke. Yeah, he's pretty hurt at this point. As you like land on his shoulder, he like wheels at you like, Obi, is that your turn?
I think what Obi is then going to do is he is going to like keep sort of shifting around here. Actually, he's going to sort of move over here to try to like block off this guy's exit. As best as can, or at least make it awkward for him to get around, and also open up more opportunities for flanking. And so he just kind of turns around.
Holly, you're up on 8.
Where do you think you're going?
Great. Holly's gonna jump over here.
Boing, boing.
And I think she's gonna like drop her shield and swing two-handed with her wood axe. Geez.
No.
Brutal.
11.
That's a big miss.
Yeah. That's.
Hey, I have DM inspiration from a
You
long
want to give it
time
to
ago.
Melissa?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
Can
Melissa,
we? Yeah.
re-roll.
Does that mean I can roll again?
You're just taking the
Wow,
first
okay.
of these 2 rolls, right? 24 hits.
24. Great.
That's DM inspiration work.
So not the dueling, so that is 4
Oof,
slashing
brutal.
damage.
He's still up,
Okay.
but he's pretty hurt. As like the axe like carves across his shoulder, and he like.
Oh wait, sorry. I think hold on.
What'd you do?
I already subtracted 2, so I do add the dueling style. I tried to make it easier for myself and made it harder for myself.
That's great.
It's all
I love
6.
it. So he
I
takes
don't know
the
if that
extra
made
2
any
points of damage. He is still up, but he's like badly hurt. Knife in one hand, scimitar in the other, like kind of eyes like darting back and forth between the pair of you. Holly, that's your turn on 8. Quilliam,
Yep.
you're up on 22.
I got this one move. Okay. It's crazy. Oh, I guess we're stopping this fellow. Okay. And Quilliam will, he will get himself up, so half his movement to get up from prone. And just kind of shuffle in the door here.
Don't mind me, I surrendered.
Go,
I was gonna say, I love how Quilliam
are
is constantly like, oh, I don't want to hurt anybody, but I'm gonna accidentally kill somebody. Oh, you've all left this guy alive, but I guess we have to kill him now.
I killed nobody. That was Michael.
Me, I'm Dennis's brother, Frederick.
Oh no!
Okay. I
Don't humanize the bad guys with combat.
I don't
Got bad news for you, Dennis.
I don't have the knees for this anymore. And Quilliam will use his action to curl up in a little spiky ball. And he shall use his bonus action to Misty Step 5 feet above the fleeing
Oh
person
no,
and
not
drop
this
down
one
on top
again.
of him.
Okay, spiky ball damage. What happens when you're in a spiky ball?
It's really not much.
I don't think it is either.
Hold on. Let me. It's a hedge.
Is it like equal bludgeoning damage?
I don't know.
Oh no, you have hedge.
It's a
you
hedge
have
stick.
specific
hedge stuff.
like damage, yeah.
Yeah, but it's kind of only if they hit me. This is kind of up to DM interpretation. I just think
It's very fun.
There it is. Curl up, basically. I can use my action to curl up my armor class becomes 19, which is pretty cool. Any creature that misses you with a melee attack, but I'm trying to basically
I'm
hurl
giving him a
myself
dexterity
into
saving throw versus your spell save DC, right? I
Okay.
think that's fair. You DC 15, right?
Yes, I
17.
am.
He makes
Hey,
it, so
he
he'll
made it.
take half damage. Roll 2d4 as like you hit him and he manages to like dart, so you don't just like cleanly crush him, you know. 7. That takes.
Oh, sorry. So
Yeah,
for 3.
he takes 3 points of damage as you like kind of roll off of him, like bouncing off the table here. I think the whole table flips over. Maine is screaming like, "I thought you were nice people!" As like the table like kind of thunks back down, like drinks spilling all over the floor. This guy is still up. Hubert yet lives.
Oh, wow.
Quilliam, that was your action,
Quilliam
bonus
is
action
just-
movement. That's it, right?
That's it. Like Quilliam's a ball of spikes and is not doing anything else for the rest of the day. He is blown his entire wad. He is done. He is rolled up and he doesn't care what's
Udella
happening.
on
He's just-
Norel, you're up on 18. You go before Hubert. What would you like to do?
I'd like to do. This is a fun rogue one. I would like to bonus action hide.
Okay,
and
got
then,
it.
Hey.
So let me try a stealth.
You duck
Like by the
down
table or
underneath the
whatever.
table as he loses sight of you. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll like move back here. No, no, I would like to be here, and then I would like to shoot with the short bow.
Hits.
19 or 19 piercing
As
damage.
Quilliam
this
is
might
like
do it.
curled up in a ball on the floor. Obi, your brother, is like cut badly. His fine coat like slashed and torn in places as he's been stabbed quite a handful of times tonight. Nana like standing next to this poor Strigg patron who seems to be like sitting terrified in this chair at a barrel, like just trying to avoid the blades flying past them. It's just a person, you know, this poor like, you know.
Just someone who came for a
Exactly.
drink, had a hard day
And
of
you
work.
fire your arrow into this like one-eyed Strigg bandit captain Hubert of the Storm Shadows. And what does it look like as they fall?
Oh, I do say one thing. I do say, I am very lucky that you came because I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, and
then
the
I shoot
arrow
him
like
in the other
hammers
eye
into the
with a
one
bow.
open eye. His body like like hammers backwards into the bar, stumbling forwards where he falls like face first dead on the ground. The scimitar and the dagger like skidding loose from his hands. And I think you just hear from the corner this one like last bandit like should have surrendered.
Can I
Yeah.
do something to that bandit?
Kill him.
Wait, no, wait. But aren't we going to? Aren't we going to go to? Isn't there a cave or something we're going to? We need to go to. We should get info before.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
So
okay.
I
Alright.
am going to jump back over here,
Holy sweet!
and I would like to use intimidating brawler, or intimidating banter, and I'm basically going to tell him, you are going to sit here and you are going to tell us everything you know, or I'm going to hit you real hard and it's not going to be pretty, and you're going to go and tell them to leave Miss Odella alone.
We'll go ahead and roll. You get to roll an intimidation check using your strength modifier instead, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think just add 3
Got
to
it.
this roll is
Yep.
the easiest way to do it.
21.
21.
I think he's like, Miss, I'll tell you whatever you need to know. You keep me here as long as you need. Please don't hurt me, please.
Great.
Well, you stay here first. We need to see how far
You
Holly.
got it.
can go. Give
I
us-
won't
I
move
cast
for the next
Cure
30
Wounds
seconds.
on him.
Me and my dumb brother Dennis, we just got in over our heads. We were orphan children. It's not my fault that I run with these vagabonds.
No more talking. No more talking. No more
I had a
talking.
moment with Dennis. I thought we were going to be friends, and then he hit me. So then, anyway.
It's fine. I'm sure he'll apologize. He's like,
I'm worried. Who's this guy down here? Oh,
That's the bartender. That's a
Yeah.
that's a bouncer.
Marcel
That's
has like
Marcel.
wandered
Okay.
around the back real slowly, you know, and I think he's just like,
Like,
Yeah, certainly.
what is
there's
it?
a lot of blood. There's so
I
much
think
blood.
Yep, go for it, Obi.
I think. Oh yeah, I think Obi is going to sort of sheath his blade and like hang his little shield on his belt, and he's gonna approach Maine and say, "I'm really sorry that all of this went down, but these vagabonds started coming after my sister. Do you have a mop, a bucket? I'm more than happy to help."
No, we gotta go.
No.
Somebody
We gotta go.
needs
They
to
know they're
clean
here.
up
We
with his
gotta go.
blood on my floor. Listen, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with a lot of you. These here couple of people that come here every night, they drink of my mead, they eat of my escargot, they take more than their share of the bug cheese. It's a major problem. I'm an old woman. I'm not able to turn away so many customers. So in a matter of point, I'm a very upset. Maybe I'm not so upset.
Well, at
You can keep any loot they have on them. You can keep
And
any of it.
Frederick here will help you clean up after he's done telling us.
That's
all
right,
about
you
the
son of a bitch! I'ma have enough out of you and your vagabond friends! You come in here, you take advantage of me, I'm an old woman! And I think Frederick is like, you got it, ma'am! I'm surrendered! I think he's like over in the corner.
We're gonna rehabilitate every bad guy. That we
What?
keep
Every
Yeah.
bad guy
Or
is
we're
We're gonna come back
murdered.
in a year and he's working as a barkeep in the tavern.
So
Go meet Rollins Corn. He'll show you
So
the way.
I think that it's at this point that like Marcel peeks his head in the back door, and I think he actually like walks right up to you, Holly, as you stand here, and he's just like, "Well, you weren't kidding. Yeah,
Hi.
nice work. Are you all
Thank you.
More like above ground Fight Club, yeah.
you all right? Right?
Yeah, we're fine. Other than,
Still standing.
maybe Mr. Obi over there.
I do have a request. Can you, if anybody comes in here asking who did this, you just don't say it was us? Oh, that's
I
a
think
Tamena
Marcel's
too.
like, sure. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I hate these sons of bitches, and I think that Maine is like, I think that like she's like now really looking at you, and she's like, "You're his sister." Oh yeah, I see it. It's in the whiskers. Let me ask, you in some bit of trouble? These people are not a good people. They should not be looking for a girl like you.
A little bit of trouble,
Maybe
yeah.
you need for me to hide you in my basement.
Oh, Underground Fight Club, yeah. That would be great. That would be very
All
helpful.
right, this one time I know make you mop up the blood. We get a nice Frederick here in the corner. He's to mop up the blood. I'm gonna hide you in my basement. We take care of everything.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
And so I think that like
That's
Frederick's
great.
standing in the corner. Ollie, you're very jumpy.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
in more ways than one.
Is there anything else in like this moment? Yep.
Yeah, just like, what do you know about this cave? How many people are there? How do we get in there without people realizing? And what are we going to find when we get there?
Oh, shit, ma'am. That's a whole lot of questions. I mean, I'll be honest with you. They don't let me out in the cave too much. That's for kind of like the more important members. I really was trying to like increase my own kind of internal assessment by drinking with the boss here tonight. I never liked that son of a bitch. He always looking at me funny with that one eye. I mean, I could draw you a map. I could show you right where it is.
That would be great.
How many
Probably
people would be
there's somewhere
there?
around about a dozen or thereabouts. I mean, I ain't such a good counter, I'll be honest with you, miss. I only got these here 8 fingers, you know?
Rough estimate will do.
And just like more are you all, or I don't know, we're not going to find anything else creepy in that cave?
Boss might be there.
Who's the boss? Stop looking at me like that. You
I'm
just
sorry,
answered
I'm
the
sorry.
question.
Please don't stab me, miss. Please don't stab me. I'm talking about Don Clement, the boss, the big boss. He's the head of all the storm shadows in this here city. I know it's a terrible name for a thieves guild, but I didn't name it.
Who named that?
actually think it's that bad of a name. Y'all keep saying it's bad.
Wait, you mean it's a kind of intimidating name?
I mean, it's kind of cool, but who's Don Clement? What's his
Don
deal?
Clement? You don't know Don Clement? Don Clement?
No.
He's the biggest, meanest, angriest Mapach that I ever did meet. He's got to weigh himself, well, at least 115 pounds. And, I mean, he's strong, like a swordfish. And, he got himself a couple magic trinkets. He got real twisted up something fierce last week. He heard there was something important. I'm not real sure. He was talking to this Gallus-type fellow, Corn, I think his name was. There was some kind of negotiation, coins exchanged hand, and he was supposed to go rob that there horn from the Marguerite Rose. And they say he did it, and he's got it stashed down there in that cave with the rest of the boys.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. You don't
hell
tell them that
no,
we were
man.
here.
I'm moving. I'm going to find Dennis. We're going to pick up. We're going to Alderheart. We're going to start that peanut car business that we always been talking about since we was boys. I've been trying to get him out of this life for years, but, well, he's about as dumb as a bag of rocks. I'm sorry,
Stop talking.
please.
Stop
So
talking.
mean.
Stop talking.
I think Dennis might have gone to Alderheart already. You should just go straight there.
All right, I'll head
Yeah,
right
he ran-
after him.
he
And I
ran
think it's at
away
this
to
point that
Alderheart.
Maine is like, not until you mop up all this blood, you son of a bitch. And that's where
Yeah.
we'll leave our adventurers today.
Classic
That's great.
son of a bitch
Is that
ending.
okay? I didn't mean to like.
I was gonna say Quilliam has fallen
great.
asleep.
yeah. I think like
He's just rolled up in
the
his
camera
dozing.
like pans around the bar of
He
like
never
the
did.
blood pooling underneath the corpses, you know, in the corner. Poor Frederick is still like afraid to move as like Maina shoves a mop into his hands. Right, we see like Holly hopping everywhere, and I think that the camera like pulls out of a window, lifting up over Maina's tap room here, where we see the body of Dennis. Kind of like on the side of the end. The camera lifting higher over the city of Saltersport, vanishing into the clouds. There we go. Session 5 of Humbleyuir. Whimsy.
Cutest show of
Super cute. All that murder.
I mean, when the hedgehog was singing, it was pretty cute.
So much
Oh
blood.
no, Don Clamato. I did it, didn't it? Son
Maina,
of a
we met
bitch.
Maina.
Don
Clamato.
Clamato.
Don Clamato.
Yeah, man.
Don Clamato.
If he's down, I'll kill him.
I hope that was fun, you guys. That was kind of hilarious. Yeah.
Oh.
Fun.
I didn't mean.
I thought we were gonna have this
Very fun.
lovely night
Me
in
too.
the town. Like, we'll have a shopping, go for a spa, maybe. Just gonna have a little banter. No, we're gonna murder everybody
Did
in a
not mean to
tavern.
turn it into a murder fest, but sometimes
Hey.
these things happen.
I didn't start the bar fight. I just
Yeah,
want
I
to
mean,
put that out
definitely
there.
not.
You.
Obi tried to resolve things as like
Definitely my
as,
fault.
as little bloodshed as possible.
But Quilliam didn't hurt anybody up until that very last thing, where he just kind of
Right, but
shook
previous episodes, Quilliam has murdered people with his staff. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but he healed Rollins' corn.
I did kind of think we could murder
are-
one of them and then run away.
We are
Maybe
playing
Dennis
Dungeons and
too,
Dragons.
but
A little
didn't happen.
light murder is to
Yeah.
be expected.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like agonize over it. I hope that was fun. You guys got to meet Maine.
That was fun.
You got to meet Gustav and Mars. You got to meet a whole bunch
Maina.
of very
Oh, God.
interesting, dynamic people. So yeah, I'm glad that we finally have reached civilization. Long rest? Nope, don't think so. Maybe next time.
What? No, I'm tapped. Please.
In a
I've
basement.
got-
In a
like, You
basement.
guys
Gotta
can
be
do
coming.
whatever you want. Quilliam is not moving for at least 8 hours. Move him if you
Only
want.
Almond
does
gets
the
it.
dog fights.
Yeah, almost.
She ends them.
Yeah, Almond has a lovely
Oh,
long
yeah.
rest.
And also, if we're staying in the basement, that means we're not going to the rooms that her and old
We'll
Noel
have to resolve
figured out.
that next time on Humbleyuir.
Fun.
This was a treat, you guys. It's very good to be back. We will be back again. We very much missed Aston tonight, so send our love there and that of the chat, Austin. But yeah, this was cool, you guys. In the interests of like closing down the house, so my friend across the pond can like go live his life. At what time is it? 3 a.m, Aiden? 3:30?
Oh, no, nothing so crazy. It's only 20 past
right,
2.
there you go. It's only 2:30. A legend.
Oh, no, I think Adam's starting a session now in about 5 minutes. I'm going to go join in that one.
Sounds about right. Yes, we are Humbleyuir. Melissa, you're up in the top left corner. I'm going to start with you. What do you got going on in the world? Where can people like go find you and keep track of what you're doing?
Sure, yeah. Follow me on Twitter, MelissaW28. If you want to watch me also playing a fast-talking, high-pitched, cute animal who is probably going to die, check out twitch.tv/sabotagethem on Monday, where we're doing a TPK fight at 11 a.m. Pacific and a bunch of other times, other places. So that, otherwise, I was on the Legend of Vox Machina book club podcast. I was on Shit 90 Shows Taught Me this week, recording with One Indescribable Podcast. Also podcasting over on the patron feed for PSR for YA, talking about Harry Potter right now. So yeah, lots
That's
of
all
things
good
to
stuff.
check
It
out.
was a big Just Sterling week for both of us. I got to be in community building, and you're doing Shit 90 Show. Very, very cool. Austin, how about you, my friend?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at AustinFSmith8, where I tend to link anything that I get involved in. At the moment, I'm writing weekly articles recapping Australian Survivor. So if that's your vibe, it's been a pretty wild start. We've got Sandra over playing in the Outback. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun. So you can check out my thoughts there. I was also on the Legend of Vox Machina Critter Club, book club, spoiler-filled podcast with Melissa and Philly, as well as a couple of our other friends from the PSR space. Jess Sterling, the wonderful Jess Sterling, filling out our panel there. So yeah, check it out if that's your vibe.
Awesome.
And that's me.
We're delighted to have you. Send your love to your delightful wife. It's always such a treat when she could be here. I hated to play without her, but we wanted to play. I can't believe that it's been revealed, Melissa, you're going to fight an Elder Brain Dragon. I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. That's very exciting stuff. New Fizzbands content popping at Sabotage. Keep your eyes out over there. If you're like hanging around here, go follow Sabotage the DM, our sister stream. They're always doing fun stuff. And oftentimes we're there for it. Grace, Quick Draw Grace Leader, what's going on with you? You're very busy.
Euphoria, covering that with Amon. Movie coverage each week with Ariel. Last week we covered Jackass Forever. This week we are covering Marry Me. So 2 very different movies. Also doing Raised by Wolves coverage with Josh and Taryn, as well as Hold Up is a podcast where we look at LGBTQ media from the past, see if it holds up. Also going to be on Gilded Age, I think, next week. And yeah, probably other stuff that I am... sports on Rob is a podcast. So yeah, lots of stuff. Follow me on Twitter.
Grace. She's keeping like really busy. I got to be on one of those Raised by Wolves podcasts. Raised by Wolves is awesome. If folks aren't watching it, like if it's not on your radar, gosh, it's a very weird, very cool show. Really fun. Go give that like a view because it's really pretty cool.
It's very weird sci-fi. There's like there's
clerics,
people just clerics
warriors,
and
the whole
everything.
Deal. You
Yes,
got it
yeah.
all. This big D&D energy happening in Raised by Wolves. A treat whenever you're podcasting, especially with Josh. Aiden, how about you, sir? Anything out there you want to like hype up or point our attention to in the world?
Yes, I also exist.
Yes. We are grateful.
Love it.
No, I don't do much. Anybody want me on their podcast, you can ask me. But no, I don't do anything regularly. Anybody is in Ghent, Belgium, or Toulouse in France and wants to come see me play banjo in a punk band, you can do that, I guess. I don't know.
Hey,
I just
could
do
be
stuff.
plenty of those people.
But
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, you got a big following out there in Ghent in Belgium.
Who
don't you?
knows? Who's to say? One day,
I don't know. I don't do anything with any regularity. Some people invite me to do fun stuff, and I go along and do it. It's a great life.
Yeah, it is always good stuff when you're doing it. We love to see it. You don't have a Twitter account, or I would plug it, but that's okay. You like to be elusive. This guy, find him, get him where you can find him.
I'm hardcore MySpace. Yeah, I'm still holding
on
up
language. You guys know me. I'm Rich Filiberto. I'm DM Philly. This is where I live. It's right here on the internet. You can go follow me at DM Philly on Twitter. I'm podcasting about a bunch of stuff also over at Post Show Recaps. We're talking about Vox Machina every week. We got the Vox Machina Critical Role spoiler podcast with our friends here in the chat. We're going to be coming back again after next week's episode drops, once the series is concluded, talking about that. I've been podcasting about Boba Fett with the great Mike Bloom every week, and yeah, it's divisive. Go figure. Star Wars got people up in arms. Who'd have thunk it? I know, crazy.
No
guys,
way.
Crazy. We will be back on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, other times in other places, with Dragonfly Season 2, Episode 2, D&D in Space. We're very excited to be back with that every week. Keep your eyes peeled around here on my Twitter to see when we will be back with Episode 6 of Humbleyuir. This is a limited run series. It's elusive. You never know when it's going to pop up. It's like a hedgehog dimension dooring out of space over your head. Gotta beware. Keep your eyes out. Anything else? Is there anything else, you guys, that we should be like hyping up? Am I overlooking anything?
Yeah. Join the Post Show Recaps Discord.
Yeah. We all
It's awesome.
We all met on the Post Show Recaps Discord. Post Show Recaps, a really great site out there on the internet, podcasting about film and television and all kinds of that stuff. If you sign up at their Patreon at the $10 a month level, you can join us in the Discord, playing Dungeons and Dragons with all of us, talking about the aforementioned TV and movies and a bunch of other dumb stuff. We have a lot of fun. We're real good friends. It's the best place on the internet.
I was going to say, Grace ran hour and a half D&D this week. Austin and I invented a sport, and we're going to try running that tomorrow. There's lots of fun games happening over there.
Of all the sessions I'm not a part of, that's the one that was like, oh, I really wanted to play.
I felt the same way.
That sounds so much fun.
The PvP spots are so precious. So I don't want to say it, but like I got into PvP, and then like literally I think like a few days later it was like, also the sports session is happening. I was like, no.
Well, theoretically we will run it this first time. It will fail epically, and then we'll figure it out and tweak it, and then we'll run it again later.
We're gonna get teams going. It's gonna be a full-on tournament.
I have some rules for some unofficial D&D sports that have been developed over the years that I have used to disastrous effect here and there. So maybe we'll dredge those out one of these days. Anyway, thank you guys all for hanging out here with us tonight. It's a delight to see some of our friends who are not here often. Sabotage the DM, it's a delight to have you here live. I'm glad to see you guys are back at it out there in the world. Thank you, everybody else. Thank you, Anonymous Gifter, if you are still out there. That was a very appreciated...
I made a sound. I don't think I've ever made that sound.
It's a little hedgehog.
Yeah, it's a little hedge.
It's actually that's the sound the hedgehog makes.
I have my hedgehog pin. I don't think you can see it well. Maybe I'll take a picture. That's much cuter hedgehog. It's fuzzy.
That's also that sound is also the first syllable of the sport, I think. Zuck.
Yeah, Austin, tell me live. How do I pronounce this?
Hraza.
Yeah, there we go. I'll practice tomorrow.
Aiden, I'm going to need you to just run the whole stream like that next time we're here. Okay. Bye.
Hello, everybody. Goodbye. Bye.